You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning 2024. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're all doing and living well this evening here in the middle of December. First, like to start out by thanking all those awesome people in the winner's circle that support the channel. Thank each and every one of you. And special thanks to Shelly and Wolfram, who also support the channel over on Rumble. We are broadcasting live tonight on YouTube and Rumble, and welcome to the show. Let's go. All right. Let's say hello to Wolfram. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Thank you for dropping the links. Remember, guys, when you are here, to always listen to the wolf. He knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws and he lopes in, and he and the alpha mod is in the house. Welcome, guys. Roscoe Tree, how's it going, dude? How you doing this evening? Hope you're doing awesome wherever you are in this wonderful world of ours. And boy, we got some good stories tonight. Hello, Heidi. How you doing? Good to see you. We had a great show last night. And we got to the bottom of this throne stuff, and of course, as we're kind of wrapping that up, or at least we did the big show on it. We did the big root cause analysis show and whittling things down. Of course, the fun never stops with more news coming out today about it. However, we will save all that kind of talk and stuff towards the end of the show. Right there at the end, I'll update some stuff on that. And also, we're going to take a look at a live stream that basically keeps an eye on the skyline in New York just for fun. Just for fun. And I want to show you a friend of the channel today actually made a drone video. I want to show that too. So we got to do some more. I guess it's just not going to go away. I didn't say this last night. I wanted to say it. As far as predictions go and whatnot, I'm predicting this is going to go away after the first year. I think it's just going to be done. Patterns. We follow the patterns. Patterns I think that we will see it die down. Who knows? Maybe this year it got so much momentum that it'll keep going. But I just have a feeling that January is going to be absorbed with the Trump inauguration, the transfer of power, if you will, and that will be dominating our time, as well as Davos 2025, where the global elitists gather to plan how they're going to continue to implement their dastardly agenda 2030. So we have to keep an eye on that as well. Special broadcasts for those will be in hand, as well as we'll be revisiting our Open Conspiracies series to cover those occurrences, or maybe I'll make another show out of it. I don't know. You never can tell. They change so fast around here. But thank you guys for being here. Let's see. I was listening to Turning Point event, but podcasters kept muting the event because of copyright claims. Oh man, yeah, that sucks. I hate it when that happens. Hey, Memento Mori, how you doing, my friend? How you doing out there this evening? Hope it's all going really cool for you. Wow, we're like a week away from Christmas. Is that true? Whoa. No, actually, we're a week away from being past Christmas. So we're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days away from Christmas. Boy, time flies. Hope you got all your holiday shopping done, if you get Christmas shopping done, if you do Christmas or whatever holidays you holiday, you've gotten your gifts and whatever you do all together and ready. A little chilly here tonight. It was 51 yesterday. Now it's 46. Hey, cool gamer. What's up? How you doing? Thank you for supporting the channel and thanks for being here, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, dude. So tonight we're going to get into this whole spending bill stuff. And of course, as soon as I started, the right before I started, the proposed revamp bill that I was going to cover, which was Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Elon Musk approved, didn't make it. It failed. So, it is what it is. I personally don't care if they shut down the government. I mean, it's just that's fine. Do it. We'll open it back up in January. But go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. I dare you. It's the same thing every year. They always start, we're gonna shut it down, and they never do. Then they pass a bunch of bullshit, right? So I'm all for not passing bullshit this year. So if they got to shut it down, go ahead. Oh my God, the park rangers, they'll be fine. Let's send them home for Christmas. They'll be fine. Everybody will be fine. We'll survive, I promise. So they make it sound so terrible, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Final Christmas shopping yesterday. Been a warp speed kind of holiday season for shopping this year. I hear you on that. Yeah, I think everything's in order here on this end. Of course, I got to pack it all up and head on down to visit the family. So we'll be here for a minute on Christmas, and then we'll be out the door. That's the way it goes. Shelly's up there. She had a great stream today. She's saying hello to everybody, giving big hugs as everybody walks in. She's the hostess with the mostest. Shelly talking trash and truths. There she is. Make sure you subscribe to her channel if you haven't. She's on YouTube and Rumble as well. And we're trying to, man, that's a channel that needs lots of love. Should be way many more subscribers. If even half the channels she's supported and she's done things for, and she's been, really a big supporter. She goes and she gets a membership. She buys memberships. She shows up. She's in the chat. She's chatty. She's helped a lot of channels that were a lot smaller and now are a lot bigger. She helped a lot of them out. And if even half of those channels return that favor, she'd be doing good. But it has to do with more than just people doing you favors that have channels that are doing really well. But all that's coming and more for this upcoming year. But just saying, I mean, talk about a great supporter to creators everywhere. That's Shelly talking trash and truth. So make sure you support her back. Let's show this. Let's show them all that she's got it going on, because she does. Wolfram, I remember on 1 year under the Obama regime, they actually barricaded an open and free national park. Yeah, that way, that's part of their whole globalist agenda to take land from the people and put it in the government's pockets and then hand it over to the globalists. That's the way it works in Agenda 2030. That's part of the plans. We've run over that. We've talked about it. We'll be talking about it more in the new year again, because we can't let that one go until it is gone. It must be gone. It must stop. It must be reversed. We're not having any Agenda 2030. The globalists, you're not going to come take over our country. You're not going to implement your stakeholder capitalism. We will own things and be happy. We will not own anything like you want us to. We will not own nothing like you want us to. We will resist every step that you try to implement. We will not accept your bullshit. And that's the end of that. So we'll cover more of that in the upcoming year. This is your place for Davos 2025 coverage and the open conspiracy known as Agenda 2030 resistance. So if you are into that kind of stuff, you're in the right place. You are here. You're part of the solution. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Our top story tonight is, like I said, the spending bill and the government shutdown crisis. So it's like the drones every December. It's just part of life now. Every December we go through this. But what will be different this year? I hope something will be. I hope that we will have a new look on things. But to cover this story correctly, we must go back exactly 22 hours. Exactly 22 hours to get to the start of this, because in a bold move, our DOGE, our Department of Government Efficiency heroes, stepped up and said, "Guys, if you pass this BS, you're on the list." And I like that. I like that approach. Hey, if you're going to vote for just ridiculous funding and these laws that are worked into this spending bill, like they're literally trying to pass laws that should be voted on individually. They're trying to wrap it into a spending bill. This is how bad it is. And this is the bullshit we've been putting up with for decades. And this is why we are in the place that we're at in this country. We have been letting this stuff fly. And when good people stand around and do nothing, bad people persevere. And we're going to stop that. We got good people now backing up the anti-establishment. We are going to resist the establishment. They are corrupt. They are evil. They are demoralized, and they are demoralizing our nation. They are collapsing our Constitution. We cannot have it. And they're destroying our economy, making our lives harder, and handing it over again to those nasty global elitists, the global funding class, whatever, global ownership class, that think that they have a benevolent right to rule over us. No, not at all. That's not how we do it here, and that's not how it would be done any further. So we are making our stand, y'all. So to go back and start this thing out, let's get the lowdown from one cool dude. Let me see. I'm broadcasting on 7:20 tonight, so let me make sure that's right. I'm just hoping to slow down some of the lag. I mean, I'd love to broadcast on 1080, but I just don't want to deal with StreamYard's lag. So maybe that's something they'll work on in the new year, or I'll work on maybe switching over to something different. I don't know. You never know. I mean, heck, this time last year, things were way different at the channel. And I guarantee next year is going to be full of cool changes and big surprises. So you guys are in the right place. We're only going up. Actually, unless they stole some subscribers from me the last hour. Yeah, we're at our highest number right now. So as subscribers go. So that's good. Keep on subscribing, man. Keep on support the little guy. Help us beat the big dudes, and at least compete with them. At least get out there. A lot of good ideas going on here that need to be heard. It's all about the content, though. So as long as good people are getting the content and it's been helpful to them, and they're able to apply it to their daily conversations and their knowledge base, you know what? We're doing the right thing here. We're winning reality that way. And of course, we do all kinds of great programs here almost every day a week. There's I need a couple of days off. This is a quote unquote part-time, even though it feels like a full-time. And if it becomes a full-time, then good. Then it will be a full-time. But right now there is a day job. There is and the family will always come first, of course. So if it goes that way and I can do it and I can ramp up that way, whatever way that the Lord wants to point me, that will be the way that we go. So anyways, let's get into the story. And let's bring in a very, very cool dude known as Greg Foreman of Black Conservative Perspective. And we will look at this video along with him and analyze it.
We have broken the Christmas omni. And I have no intention of going back to that terrible tradition. So there won't be a Christmas omnibus. As somebody asked me in the hallway a little while ago, will there be many buses? We don't want any buses. We're not going to do any buses, okay?
And I've seen this play call like 4 times in the 7 years I've been in Congress. They've punted the ball until December 20th. And what they'll do is they'll come in a closed room with us and they'll say, okay, now we've got the really big omnibus. And if you vote for this, you can go home for Christmas. But if you don't vote for it and it fails, we're going to make you stay here over Christmas and New Year's. And it's almost like a dystopian future. I've been in the closed room where they start chanting, vote, 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 vote.
Yeah.
And people run up there and vote for something they've not read.
CR. Congress is about to pass a bill that blows away your taxpayer money, but they made it over 1,500 pages long so you wouldn't read it. I did you a favor.
Always.
I read it for you.
It's supposed to be about keeping government operations open and providing disaster relief.
That's how awesome Vivek is. He's like, I did you a favor. I read it for you. You know, when he says it, I know he did it.
To hurricane victims, which I'm sympathetic to. But if you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. It contains all kinds of special interests and pork funding, including opening up a new stadium in Washington, D.C. It renews the Global Engagement Center.
What is opening up a new stadium in D.C. in a spending bill?
Which is a key node of the censorship industrial complex. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it. And that's why they made this a last-minute jam job. The reason I'm co-heading DOGE is I think we need outsiders to bring actual accountability to Washington, D.C. So feel free to call your congressman and let them know how you feel about it.
Think about what Elon and Vivek have said? Yes. I agree with them 100%. I was a no on the CR before I even got an airplane and came to Washington. I haven't voted on one yet.
Halsey, what's up? How you doing, man?
Next year on their effort to cut spending? Yeah, look, next year's a different scenario. We're not dealing with Chuck Schumer in the Senate. We're going to have Donald Trump in the White House. We will have a narrow majority in the House, but we have to be able to do it next year. So, you know, we're stuck in the same scenario here, but still the CR is completely inexcusable. It's horrible.
All right, guys. So it's another year, and that means more of the same pork barrel tricks that the politicians love to use as an excuse to steal your taxpayer money at the end of every year by basically forcing their colleagues to pass a spending bill that they haven't read called a continuing resolution before the holidays so that they can go home on vacation, or else the government will shut down. Okay. And nobody wants to say they're responsible for the government shutdown, right? From the money continuing to flow from the federal government. Now, keep in mind, a vast majority of these politicians have basically been on vacation the past few months because they certainly haven't done a damn thing, okay, outside of raising money from rich folks, right, from donors. Outside of that, they haven't really done much. So naturally, when some conservatives, ones that actually really care about fiscal responsibility, right, that actually really care about transparency and wanting to read what they're voting for, right, before actually voting for it, when they got this big pile of garbage on their desk,
big pile of garbage,
they were upset, okay? And Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, the two individuals that are leading Doge, have come out here and pushed back heavily against this omnibus pork fest, essentially saying that, no, we cannot continue to do this. We promised the American people that as a part of Doge, we would stop this type of unnecessary and non-transparent spending that includes money not just for pork barrel projects, but also to increase the salaries of the politicians, right? The most unpopular Congress probably in American history, right? A Congress that a overwhelming majority of the American people do not approve of. Yeah, they're looking for a pay raise, right? They want to raise their pay.
Members are giving themselves a pay raise. Do you guys deserve a pay raise?
Well, that's news to me. It's good news. You know, what has it been, 10 years or 14 years of no COLA, no change at all? I think it's about time something's done.
You support giving yourselves a pay raise.
How would I not know about a pay raise?
But I mean, people look at the performance of Congress and say, why should we give them more money?
What about the media? Think about that for a second.
And we're not paid by public money.
I know you're not, but I mean, half of your listeners are not there anymore. You're still getting the same paycheck? What's going on?
Well, I mean, your taxpayer money. I mean, you guys
look at him. Look at him pivoting off of that. What a turd. He knows what's going on.
And Durbin essentially said that, yes, they should give themselves a raise. And what also is notable, though, to Jim, he wasn't aware that this was in the provision, and he's the number 2 Senate Democrat. It just shows you how this was negotiated with a handful of members, and they're going to have to vote on this, and members really won't have time to read it either, Jim.
Unreal. But Manu, I have to say, you are worth every penny. Manu Raju up on Capitol Hill for us.
Why aren't you?
Thank you very much.
So does anybody think that makes sense? Right? How in the world does CNN, the media, catch a politician off guard and say, hey, do you agree with giving yourself a pay raise? And the politician didn't even know because they didn't even have time to read the bill. They didn't even know that the pay raise was in the bill.
Ridiculous.
Again, it just shows you how much of a scam this is. Nobody has an opportunity to actually sit down and to figure out what the hell is in this piece of legislation before they vote on it, right? But Mike Johnson, he insists that, no. We got to pass this bill anyways, guys. You don't understand. Next year is when we get started with the real work, right? The promises that we made via DOGE'd, okay? That we're going to stop all this. No. We actually got to do it next year.
We don't have a choice. We have to fund those. We have to fund FEMA. We have to fund our farmers.
Right. And Mr. Speaker, it's not just, so you've got a bunch of Republicans who are angry at you. They don't like this. And just in a couple of weeks, you're going to stand once again to run for Speaker of the House. And you don't need a bunch of Democrats mad at you. But and this is breaking news you do not know. You know who also does not like this? Elon Musk, the world's richest man, just tweeted, this bill should not pass. The only way you're going to be able to pass it now, Mr. Speaker, is with Democrats. If you could, what's your message to Elon Musk?
Well, I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together. And I was explaining to them the background of this. And Vivek and I talked last night about almost midnight. And he said, look, I get it. He said, we understand you're in an impossible position. Everybody knows that. Remember, guys, we still have just a razor thin margin of Republicans. So any bill has to have Democrat votes. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either. We got to get this done because here's the key. By doing this, we are clearing the decks and we are setting up for Trump to come in roaring back with the America First agenda. That's what we're going to run with gusto beginning January 3rd when we start the new Congress, when Republicans, again, are in control. And all of our fiscal conservative friends, I'm one of them, will be able to finally do the things that we've been wanting to do for the last couple of years. Right now, Democrats still control pens.
Well,
and that's the problem. So we got to get this thing done so we don't have the shutdown, so we get the short-term funding measure, and we get to March where we can put our fingerprints on the spending. That's when the big changes start, and we can't wait to get there.
Right. Yeah, so this is the same type of argument that fat people use to justify waiting until New Year's before they go on a diet, right? They say, well, no, you don't understand. It's the holidays, and I just want to enjoy myself now. I just want to keep eating now, even though I promise that I'm going to cut it out, that I'm actually going to change my lifestyle. I promise I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to do it later, right? At the beginning of the year. And this is why a vast majority of the time,
I believe that
those New Year's resolution diets fail because it wasn't a serious thing, right? People, when you want to make a serious lifestyle change, you do it in that moment. You say, from this moment, I am now making this change and I'm going to stick with it. You don't wait to some arbitrary date that you feel is special for whatever reason to make the change, right? You make the change immediately. And clearly you can see that the GOP, they don't seem to be very serious about the changes that they claim that they're going to make, the things they claim they're going to do when it comes to cutting out all of this unnecessary spending, this theft of taxpayer dollars, because if they were serious, they would start to do it now, not later, especially when you have the power. Okay. This is why I do not throw Mike Johnson in the same category as everybody else when I talk about the MAGA Avengers, right? When all of them are together at some event and Mike Johnson is there, I always leave out Mike Johnson because I'm like, nah, I don't really think he deserves the title, right? I don't think he should be a part of the group, okay? And stuff like this is what I'm talking about.
He hadn't earned it yet.
So, with that being said, again, Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk, and now President-elect Trump have come out against this so-called continuing resolution, and that is sending Capitol Hill into chaos. Take a look.
We're told right now in the past 30 or 40 minutes here that they might try to pull this interim spending bill off the floor and maybe just go with a clean bill. Unclear what that means for disaster assistance. Here's what happened. A post on X by Elon Musk sent shockwaves through the Capitol. House Republicans were trying to see if they have enough votes to pass the spending bill in the next hour or two. Musk posted that anyone who votes yes should lose their office in 2 years. And lawmakers are scrambling.
The tweets from Musk, has that complicated this?
Well, I mean, I think that there's always a lot of interest in what's happening up here. And
This is more than
another
it,
guy
they're
that
telling people if they vote yes, they should be voted out.
The social media
Neocons put
world
up with it.
is a part of our politics, and I think members have to expect that. There'll be a lot of hard votes in the next couple of years.
A member of the House Republican leadership told Fox that Musk is not helping. The lawmaker added that Musk has bigger fish to fry than picking a fight with House Republicans. One source said the bill is now bleeding support from the GOP.
Hold on. How's that picking a fight with House Republicans? Don't get in the way of our pay raise guy. No, you guys should be on the same page with Elon.
When asked how many Democrats the GOP needs to pass the bill, a senior aide replied, quote, a lot. Lawmakers who had hurricanes devastate their districts are torn.
Oh, yeah.
The fact is that, look, this is...
Dude, don't even start, because they're going to throw that in there, the hurricane stuff, so they can pass all their other bullshit. Okay, yeah, you need this hurricane stuff. You need to help people. Yeah, meanwhile, there's all this other shit in here that that shouldn't be in there that you have to say yes to in order to get your money for hurricane stuff. That is flat out criminal.
Is a sandwich. I don't know how else to say that. We're being forced into this position. They could have done a standalone. They did this because they knew that it would put members in this position to support it. We're damned if we do. We're damned if we don't.
Now, the bill has about $100 billion in disaster relief, nearly $30 billion to restock FEMA's coffers, and there are lots of health care provisions. Jamming everything together in one bill means some Republicans will not support Mike Johnson for Speaker in January.
Have any other of your colleagues said that they're not voting for Johnson? Expressed?
Yeah, I've talked to a few, who don't seem like they're going to vote for him. You have to ask them. I'm not going to betray anybody's position.
Will you just vote president, or will you vote someone else?
I'll vote for somebody else.
And more, it's holiday cheer.
Now, Johnson can only lose one vote and still win the Speaker's race on January 3rd. Some Republicans ask how things are different with a spending bill like this under Johnson than former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The funding deadline is Friday night. Neil?
House Financial Services Committee,
tomorrow, guys.
Donalds. Congressman, this bill will fund much of what DOGE is looking to cut. What's going on?
Unfortunately, this is what happens in the lame duck here on Capitol Hill. Listen, there was a historic election, a mandate given to President Trump. People want government efficiencies. They want lower spending. But the swamp and, frankly, congressional Democrats want what they want. And it was that or farmers suffer. And it's a very unfortunate bill. Listen, what we have here is a bill that puts disaster recovery for a state like mine of Florida and many other states. And that was held hostage to get EV mandates and all this other stuff through this package. Personally, as a member, I have to vote no, because I'm not voting for this kind of garbage. This is a bad bill. It should not pass. Elon Musk is correct. A lot of my colleagues are correct. In my view, we should go back to the drawing board immediately. Disaster recovery should move on its own. And when it comes to the other functions of government, it should be a slim deal until Donald Trump comes back.
That's right.
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that. Now, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy having such an influence over what's happening in Congress clearly is rubbing people the wrong way. Okay, Republicans and Democrats.
To tank this, I mean, we have two unelected billionaires who are telling the American people going into Christmas that the government's going to be shut down. That our air traffic controllers won't be operating. The TSA won't be there to help you at the airports you're traveling.
Oh no, TSA won't be there to fill you out.
Really?
Elon Musk is an unelected billionaire. Who's the other one?
Well, Donald Trump obviously not in office yet. I don't know where Ramaswamy.
He was elected though.
Yes, fair enough.
Hanging by a thread.
Well, first off, I'd like to say thank the Lord God that I am not in Congress anymore. I know this game. They always play this like Christmas deadline stupid game. But look, President Musk this morning made it clear with all his vast government experience, which is basically he became rich on the federal government, that he doesn't want Republicans to pass this. And seemingly Vice President Trump kind of backed him up at that point. And what it says about the politics is this is going to be a messy 4 years. The whole debt ceiling thing. Donald Trump is making it clear that he wants the debt ceiling to go up. By the way, the debt ceiling is going to have to go up, but he doesn't want to have to take ownership for it because he will again for 4 years. Look at the Democrats and blame them. And so what this says about the politics is good luck for the next 4 years. I don't think they'll shut the government down because ultimately they'll want to get home for Christmas. They'll do like a 1 month CR pretending like that's going to fix everything. But yeah, I mean, I think President Elon has made it clear what his agenda is going to be for the next 4 years.
Yeah, it does seem that the only thing that truly moves Capitol Hill is vacations, in my experience, watching that building behind me.
House Republicans have now unilaterally decided to break a bipartisan agreement that they made. House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government and hurt everyday Americans all across this country.
And I'm here.
House Republicans will now own any harm that is visited upon the American people that results from a government shutdown or worse.
Oh, guys, brace for the harm.
An agreement is an agreement. It was bipartisan.
Screw you guys. You put a bunch
and there
of
was
shit in
nothing
there.
more
You
to
don't
say.
deserve it. We didn't agree to it. We the people.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of
did not
things in this bill that nobody has read, that nobody really understands.
Exactly.
That
Like to
is
lay it
packed
out here.
into this bill that these politicians are being forced to vote on at the last minute. Like, for example, there's a 1-year extension of the State Department's Global Engagement Center, which funded an advertiser's blacklist of the Post and other outlets to purportedly crack down on misinformation, right? So there's quite literally funding in here to fuel more censorship, right? It's that type of stuff, right? It's the small things that nobody
Devils in the
is going to read,
details.
right? Nobody is going to go over and say, hey, does this make
Right.
sense, right? Should we be funding this? Yeah, that type of stuff
We're on to your
is in
game, guys.
this bill, okay? And that is what people are upset about. A lot of this stuff should be voted on individually, okay? A lot of this spending, like, for example, when it comes to the $100 billion in disaster, when it comes to the $100 billion stuff, should
I want to take a look at this list here real quick. Let's look at it together, shall we? Funding for alleged censorship operations. The bill supports government agencies involved in what they consider to be illegal censorship. Excessive spending. The bill supports many unnecessary expenditures to gain political. Okay, this looks like a summary here. Lack of transparency. The bill's complexity. Yep. Includes policy bills, which shouldn't be in there because it's spending. The bill bundles other policy changes within it. The funding bill, making it a way to pass controversial policies by hiding it under the radar. Yeah, they always do this. It's so corrupt. This is not what government's for or how it's supposed to be used, but yet they're doing it because they're slime balls. Redundant government programs. The bill supports funding for many programs that are redundant and overlap, something that DOGE is trying to get rid of. Yeah, we're not going to keep funding you, and so you can take that money and launder it somewhere way back to yourself. Yeah, a bunch of BS.
should be voted on
to that wolf.
individually. Okay, a lot of this spending, like for example, when it comes to the $100 billion in disaster relief, why can't you vote on that individually? Right? Why can't you have just a clean bill and a yes or no? Right? Why can't you do that? $30 billion for FEMA funding, same thing. All of these things. I think some of the stuff people may agree on. Some stuff people may say, okay, hey, we need more funding for X, Y, and Z.
Exactly, Heidi.
Right? But it should be something that each politician is voting on individually, not something that's stacked inside this large 1,000-page plus bill that is impossible to read.
Right.
That's the problem here.
I mean, like, come on, guys. This is so blatant. This is so blatant. It's so obvious what they're doing. Anybody who wants to do money the waters is playing this game, you know? Anybody who's not on the up and up is playing this game. Like, why would you do something like this? You have all year long to get this shit done. You have all year long to talk about all these points. Then here at the end of the year, you want to shove it all into one big, giant 1,500-page bill right here in the holiday season, and then hold Christmas break over everybody's heads. I mean, dude, it's so corrupt. This has got to stop.
That's the issue. These politicians, for the last few months, they haven't been working.
Exactly.
They've been raising money. Yes, some of them are running for re-election, but they haven't been working. They could have been working on having individual votes on this stuff way before this.
This is like me and Greg, man. I swear, like, he's my brother from another mother. We share a brain or something. Because a lot of times, I'll stop the video and like I'll say something and then like I'll start it and he'll say it in his own way and like right after me, or vice versa. Man, it's like it's hilarious. I'd love to meet this guy.
Way before this, but they wait till the end of the year. They stuff it all in one bill, and then they play this game of political hot potato.
Hot potato
with the government shutdown, right? With the deadline to extend funding.
Mm-hmm.
And American people are sick and tired of this, sick and tired of the political games.
Yeah. And then every year you see some guy out there going, they're going to shut down the government and we're all going to suffer. And it's going to be their fault. They're the bad guys. They want to shut down your government. They want to shut it down and hurt you. You know, that every time. Hey, Christine, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing great. I mean, every time it's like you knew that one Democrat was going to be out there in front of the car. They're going back on the deal because we stuffed it full of shit that shouldn't be in there. But they made the deal, and if they shut down the government, they're going to hurt people, and it's going to be their fault. So when you get hurt by this, and it's going to hurt you. Then you can know who to blame, right?
And Mike Johnson, he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Okay. Because you already have some Republicans coming out and say, yeah, we're not going to vote for Mike Johnson because of this. This guy, at this point, he's only a marginal upgrade over Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, who said that
this
earlier?
is what got Kevin McCarthy ousted, this type of behavior. So he's going to have a hard time winning the speakership, right? He's going to have a really, really, really hard time winning over the people that are now pissed off by the fact that, again, this guy.
Yeah, I don't care how many UFC fights you show up to hanging out with Trump. Doesn't mean you're gonna keep your job.
Some of the same old.
All right,
and that in and of itself is going to cause
you.
some issues because he may have to capitulate the Democrats. He may have to make a deal with Democrats to remain speaker, and that means he will be compromised, which definitely will not be good for the America First agenda. Right? It's not.
You know what? We don't ever get to do this. So I'm gonna do this for Christine. I'll do this for Christine. I know that says welcome. You're already here, but I just wanted to. I don't ever get to play that one. And there's her link. So you guys make sure you sub her up. We take care of our own here. But anyways, we don't get that's the new member one. That's the new so we never get to play it. So I just want to play it.
Not gonna be good. So with that being said, Mike Johnson should pass a clean continuing resolution. Okay, no pork add-ons, and whatever other add-ons that they feel are necessary should be voted on individually, so that there's maximum transparency in regards to what is being voted on. That's what should happen. Or else, hey, if Democrats don't want to get on board with that, then let them deal with the shutdown. Biden's in office, right? They're still in office. They can deal with the shutdown, and you just make the case. Listen, Democrats want all these projects. They don't want transparency. All we're asking for is for them to actually vote on each bill individually.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
They make $160,000 a year. You think they can do that for us? You think they can do that for us on their $172,000 or $174,000 a bill? I mean, a year salary? You think they can do that for us? Each one of them.
Put the ball in Democrats' court. But again, transparency is needed. Yeah, and the reason why these politicians do this, why they wait to the last minute to pass these massive spending bills every single year, is because that's exactly what they do not want. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
Yeah, great report.
Thank you, guys.
Greg, right there. That sets up what we're going into next because we have to follow the story here. So that was yesterday, and that was them saying, hey, stop the BS, right? So what they did was, I have to switch my screen up here. What they did was they came up with an idea. They came up with a solution. And it looks like this. And now you guys get to hear me read. All right. So we're going to read on those. All right. Here we go. This screen. All right. Let's get this screen. And this one. Here we are. All right. So let me enhance the division here as best I can. All right. So, Trump backs revamped Republican spending plan as shutdown looms. So this is from today, earlier today, right? So let me scroll down here. All right. President-elect Donald Trump endorsed a revamped stopgap spending plan put forward by Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson late Thursday. Again, a CYA spending plan put together by Mike Johnson just one day after Trump and Elon Musk torpedoed a deal needed to avert a government shutdown as soon as this weekend. Trump backed the spending proposal crafted by Johnson and fellow GOP leaders that reportedly cut out a pay raise for lawmakers and tweaked some other provisions of the previous bill that he and Musk bitterly trashed. It would also suspend the debt ceiling for more than 2 years, but not permanently repeal it, as Trump demanded hours earlier. The newly agreed to American Relief Act of 2024 will keep the government open, fund our great farmers and others, and provide relief for those severely impacted by devastating hurricanes. Trump wrote on his social media site, all Republicans and even Democrats should do what's best for our country and vote for this bill. It's the greatest bill I've ever. No, it's just a bill. Vote for it. All right. Musk retweeted a post from a Trump spokesperson about the New Deal, suggesting he also supports it. So Musk was behind it. Trump was behind it. They did some good stuff. They cut out a lot of the pork. Who knows what else? Hopefully at least they cut out the depth of it, right? It wasn't clear if Democrats would get behind the retooled measures after Republicans walked away from the plan that leaders from both parties meticulously negotiated over for several weeks. Yeah, right. They negotiated over that deal. Right. And it's not clear if Democrats would get behind it. Of course, they're not going to get behind it. They're the bad guys. The possible breakthrough came less than 36 hours before the government would start to shut down on Friday night. They make it sound so tragic. Unless Congress acted. Oh, the shutdown. They just hit a big switch and government just shuts down. It's like, we've lost power, sir. With the shutdown just hours away, Trump earlier declared he wanted Johnson to force a new deal through Congress without making any concessions. A virtually impossible mission since any deal would need Democrats support to pass. Trump also, yeah, right. I mean, but look, Democrats should want to do the right thing, and they don't, and that just shows that they're pure evil. Trump also suggested Congress should eliminate the debt ceiling, a complicated and divisive issue that most Republicans have opposed, of course, because then they get together and justify their existence, right? And pass a stopgap spending bill, including only Republican priorities to aid. Like aid to farmers. Yeah, that's not a Democrat priority. Democrat priority is all the other bullshit that nobody wants. So he sought to blame Democrats and President Joe Biden, former Vice President Joe Biden, for a potential shutdown, even though it's Republicans who are refusing to pass a spending bill. Well, yeah, because they're being corrupt as usual and trying to screw over the American people. That's why. And right, Republicans are staying in the way. So if they weren't evil and trying to screw us over, then we wouldn't be going through this, will we? If there's going to be a shutdown, we're going to start it with a Democrat president. Yes, Trump told NBC News. The president-elect and top supporter of billionaire Elon Musk, is he a top supporter? All right. Efficiently sunk a deal that Johnson had struck with Democrats to fund the government through mid-March. Yeah, screw that. That was a bad deal. We don't like bad deals. We got the good deal guy coming in. We ain't going to do that stuff, right? Unless Congress enacts a new spending plan, big chunks of the government would shut down starting this weekend, with non-essential workers would be furloughed. So they everybody gets to go home early for Christmas, really, is what it is. And or the holidays, whatever you support, whatever you holiday out with. Given the calendar, it's unlikely anything would reopen until after New Year's. Okay, good. Give them some time off, man. Have a nice holiday. Spend time with your family. All right. Do something fun. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said GOP dysfunction would be to blame for any shutdown. He opposed repealing the debt ceiling as part of any last minute deal. Oh, we gotta have a debt ceiling. Oh my God, that's more important than keeping our precious government open. Gotta have the debt ceiling, or the government just won't work. I mean, for a month or something, right? The reckless Republican-driven shutdowns can be avoided if House Republicans will simply do what is right for the American people and let us pass all of our bullshit that is wrong for the American people, Jeffries told reporters. Well, kinda. Musk, who has been tapped by Trump to lead a new budget-cutting organization called the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, took to the first steps in trashing Johnson's deal on Wednesday, warning any Republicans that support it should be ousted from Congress. That's a great idea. Actually, that's one of the most efficient ideas for government I think I've heard in a long time. He later said Congress should not pass any legislation until Trump returns to the White House. Good idea. An edict that would result in a months-long government shutdown. You know what? We need a month-long break from government, don't we? Wouldn't everybody love a month-long break from government? I think that's a good idea. What in the world would we talk about? We'd probably just be talking about how the government shut down for a month. Along with funding the government, the sprawling so-called continuing resolution initially included $100 billion in aid for those impacted by Hurricane Helene and Milton. Aid to struggling farmers, and a grab bag of other priorities designed to attract votes from lawmakers in both parties. Okay. Johnson pitched the plan as the best way to delay important decisions until the next Congress, after Trump's inauguration on January 20th. The Republican majority House will hold a trifecta of power with the White House and Senate. Many Republican lawmakers oppose the bill because it includes what they consider to be unnecessary spending. Well, yeah, duh. But it was considered likely to pass anyways with wide Democrat backing. Yeah, that's why Democrats suck and we shouldn't have them, and they shouldn't be able to make decisions. But Musk and later Trump blew that plan up with their 11th hour attacks. Republicans hold a narrow majority of a couple of seats in the House, but are unable to pass spending bills without Democrat support because some conservatives oppose all government funding measures without majority cuts that most others oppose. Any spending bill would also need to pass the Senate, which is still held by the Democrats, and win the support of former Vice President Biden to sign it into law. The ugly internal GOP feud could also endanger Johnson's hold on the speaker's gavel, with a handful of right-wing lawmakers vowing to topple him in the next Congress. Right-wing lawmakers, not our precious neocons who go along with the establishment lockstep. Not those precious fake Republicans. Yes, they're so precious. Yeah, now there's a feud in the GOP. No, there's neocons in the GOP that we're going, and rhinos that we're going to get out. See, and they're going to go running away because they're going to be we're going to remove the enablement for them to commit their corrupt activities, and then they won't want to be there anymore. That's how it works. You remove the enablement of corruption, and there you have it. That's where we stood just 19 hours. I mean, just how many hours ago this come out? Well, just earlier today. All right, there you go. That's where we stood earlier today. Now, since this, hey, Simple Prepper, how you doing? I'm looking back over at Mother Screen now. I see all the awesome things going on in the chat. Saying hello, Jedi Rock. What's up over there on the Rumble side? Somebody go over there and say hello to Jedi Rock if they haven't already. Hey, Jedi Rock, do you have a YouTube? If you want to come over and hang out with the big crowd, a lot of chatting going on here on YouTube. I'll drop the link. I don't encourage people to leave Rumble or anything like that at all. If you want to like pop back and forth, a lot of people do that. It's sort of command. What are you talking about? Okay, there you go. I like your green siren. That's cool. Anyways, yeah, we're over here on the YouTube side too. If you want to come meet some new people, we got lots of cool people over here. You probably see me flashing their chats up on the screen. They're right over here on the YouTube side. I don't know. So I don't encourage people to leave Rumble. I like to see more people use it just so we have more platforms to choose from that are equal to the reach and the power of YouTube. We need to put more competition on YouTube so that it gets better and it gets more free. That's the only way it's going to work. But if you want to meet some new people and you want to hang out where a lot of people are chatting, stop on by YouTube and say hello. I'd love to have your subscription over here and also introduce you to the rest of the crowd, like Memento Mori and the Simple Prepper and Wolfram. He's over there on Rumble sometimes too. And you see, there's Shelly over there. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's saying hello. But to catch us up here, did I miss anybody else that came rocking in here? All right. To catch us up here. So that was today, right? So they came up with a bill that was more fair to the American people, and the Democrats hated it. The pooey. How are we going to launder money with this bill? How are we going to suppress rates and obstruct Trump with this bill? Right? That's what they said. In so many words. So they said no. They said no. And just right before I came in, I got the Grounded News. And Grounded News, I'm working on maybe an affiliate with them. I hope so. I did tell them in my application that I do use their site quite a bit, and I think it's a really good site. I like it. I like the concept, and I like the way that it puts all this news together. What it's done here really is it's remember the Drudge Report before Drudge lost his mind and became a total douchebag? Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's better and in so many different ways, and it's like modern, and it's like got all kinds of cool things, like this bias this distribution right here, with 40% of the sources are on the story, right in the center. Of course, I don't know the center. I guess. I mean, what makes you center these days? I have no idea. Evidently, the Patriot Light is a far right publication. But yeah, you can see where everybody's right around here. AP, leans a little left and leans a little right. I guess I don't even know half of these places. These are some local affiliates, I guess. That's weird too. You put a local affiliate leaning one way or the other. These places everybody should be in the center, damn it. All right. So, anyways, Trump backs new GOP plan to fund government and raise debt limits as shutdown nears, right? House rejects Trump-backed plan on government shutdown. So, right off the bat, breaking, Trump endorsed government funding bill and House fails. So, yeah, it fails because look at this. Trump backs Johnson's new 116-page skinny CR following GOP pressure campaign. So it went from 1,500 pages to 116. Okay, that's some good work right there. That's some good work. We can read 116 pages in no time, right? Put it on, you could have AI read it to you at 1.25 speed and read through that sucker in no time, right? That's the way we should do it. We should do it that way. We should get a hold of that bill and just be like, play it on 1.5 speed, something like that. God, how many people can make it through that stream? How many people can make it through that stream? Can I scroll in with this? Oh, look at this. Wow. Yeah. Ground News. All right. So yeah, so that's what's going on here. So the news is getting out, and now we got the news that the bill has failed. Hours after President-elect Donald Trump endorsed a new bill to fund the government, the House of Representatives took the first of multiple expected votes on the bill. The House first vote whether to suspend the rules to pass the bill, then that vote failed. Both with Republicans and Democrats voting against it. The vote required 2/3 to pass, but Republicans voted for the bill while most Democrats voted against it. Wow, what a surprise. What a surprise. The obstructionist Democrats voted against a reasonable common sense bill. So there you have that. Wow, what a show here. We got going on. These guys are just doing as expected. So yeah, that's the sad truth of the matter, is that 2 hours ago, they just said nope. Or was it even less than that? Yeah, 2 hours ago. It broke. So let's take a look at who these geniuses are that decided to make life hard on themselves. I got this nice little X post here. We're gonna take a look at it as well. All right, here we go. Okay. Wow. Hope we don't see anybody in there we like. Let's see if we can scroll in here and get a good old look at these people. By the way, and let me just go over here for a minute. As you can see, this is my new X page. I still tried to get my old one back, but I don't see it happening. I don't see that. Eventually, I'll move over here and get this thing check marked. But as you can see, my new handle is @WinningReality. Just @WinningReality. That's all it is. @WinningReality. That's the new X page. If you want to go follow me on X, you can follow me until my page gets ripped down again for no reason. Republicans who voted no when Trump said yes. Now, I know like Burkett, and he one of the good guys. Like, there's some people on here that I'm surprised to see. I guess maybe not. But these are all. Massey voted no. He was just out there just talking about how he didn't want to do it. I wonder what was in here they didn't like. I wonder, when you see some people on these lists, right? Don't automatically assume that they are all, that they've turned heel, right? That's what I've learned from these votes. We have to understand what's in there. Even though Trump said yes, it's still, there's still some checks and balances going on. They're like, well, I have my opinions about this. We don't have time. There's Mace, Representative Mace, McCormick. There's some people on here that are Trump backers that said no. No Trump backers, definitely Trump backers that said no. So there might have been something that Johnson had put in there, the Democrats have put in there. They just can't, in their good conscience, vote for. And they want more, and maybe they see no problem with the government shutdown. So I'm not ready to send all of these people to the primaries, but let Brandon Lesko. Brandon Lesko said no. I didn't know he was a representative. But that's them. So this is what it is. 38 House Republicans who voted no when Trump said yes. Again, I'm gonna be hard-lined about this, but from what I'm gathering from this crowd right here, and myself included, is we don't really care if the government does shut down, because we're gonna get it opened up again anyways. Let's open it up with our team, right? We'll open up with our people. So I'm not, shut it down, leave it open, make up your mind, stay there for Christmas. I don't care. We're going to have a new president next month, and now we're going to get our shit going for the next 4 years. And hopefully far beyond that, we're going to start changing and making America great again. We got so much work ahead of us. This little last minute December, Biden's last death row bullshit Democrat stuff. I just can't, whatever. Go ahead. Shut it down. You keep, it's like when someone keeps saying, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna hit you, right? And eventually you're just like, go ahead, swing. Eventually I was like, look, man, I'm avoiding conflict here. Okay, look, go ahead and take your best shot, dude. See what you got. I bet you. Then you find out they don't hit it very hard at all. Hardliner is a great band. Yeah, there you go. Hardline is a great band. Hardliner is even a greater band. Could be a great band. Start a band called Hardliner. So who is actually standing against funds for farmers? Yeah, I mean they are, but that's the trick, right? Because there's funds for farmers, but what else was in there? Like we don't know. Just because, Elon and Trump may have said, okay, look, we'll go with this, right? They're sitting there we don't like. We'll go with it. And then some of the people on that list may have been like, you know what? Let's just shut it down. Maybe that was a vote to shut down the government and by them. We don't know what their takes on it are. So, if someone like Tom Massey, I'd be interested, Representative Mace, Representative Burkett, I'd be interested to hear what they have to say, what their reasons for doing that is. So if my if you happen to find those out there on X, let me know. Why I go on to the next story and we can circle. I hate Jen Psaki ruined the goddamn term circle back. We can come back to it. And circle back is actually a corporate term that a lot of people in corporate America use in meetings when you're having a meeting. Okay, I circle back with you on that. Now we had to change it to something else. We have to change it because the politicians adopt our language, and then we have to say, well, we don't want to sound like politicians. So we have to say something different now. So we'll get back to that later. We'll check in on that later. If we can find any statements by, some key people like, I'm interested to hear Thomas Massey or others who are Republicans who didn't go say yes, what their problem was. Like what was their issue? It might be interesting to hear that. Let me see. And oh, there we go. Let's see. We got something already. JD Vance slams Democrats for not passing CR. That's a good one. Catching torches Democrats about Elon running the government and not Trump. Meh. Let's see. Greg Price, nearly every House Democrat just voted against disaster relief, aid for farmers, keeping the government open, and pay for the military. Those heartless bastards. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's the Democrat. The Democrats are doing all of this, by the way, top to bottom. But yeah, lay on the politics. Lay on the politics. Let's go. Let them have it, guys. Get out there and win the narrative. Remember to listen to the wolf while you're here. He knows what he's talking about. All right. Part of the bill supports reauthorizing GEC as a federal agency to censor and blacklist outlets that challenge the accepted narrative for things like COOF as a bioweapon. Okay. Yes, there's some of these people are like have a very base libertarian. They're very libertarian based. So anything that violates like an amendment, anything that stands for an amendment, they're going to vote against. So likely these are people that were going to vote no against any of it. There might have been some people in there who were going to vote no for any of it. Like Tom Massey's Massey's one of those people that when I think of Massey, I think of like a really staunch libertarian kind of guy. And he probably like Rand Paul, evidently, well, Rand Paul's in the Senate, but Rand Paul would probably vote against it too. Ron Paul would have probably voted against this. Right? He probably would have voted against any of it because it fundamentally, principally speaking, he stands against it. And so, and he believes, he's elected on his principles. So honestly, I could have seen Ron Paul on this list. So that's why I'm not upset about it. Yes. Oh my God, funding. We'll get funding for all these people. Like I said, like lay on the politics, but we'll get funding for farmers. We'll get funding for disaster victims. FEMA had done their job right in the first place. They probably already have it, right? The military is going to get paid. They always do. We'll pay the military. It's like that. Well, sorry, kids, there won't be a Christmas this year. I didn't get my military pay. No, you're going to be fine. We'll get paid for all of them. Believe me. We just can't deal with the using it. This is basically a way of extorting, right? Extorting consent is what this is. And they're extorting our consent by hanging these other people's livelihoods and need for assistance over our heads. This is this is called extorting consent, like manufacturing consent. This is a way to manufacture your consent through extortion, right? Through you're like, you better give me that, or I'm not going to give them this, right? I don't know what you call it, coercion, courting consent, right? Manufactured consent through coercion. I'm coercing you to it's like, it's almost blackmail, right? It's like blackmail. So thanks for pointing that out. Talking trash and truths. That's some truths talking right there. But yeah, some people just don't stand. They don't like to be bullied, and they don't like to have other people. If they do it once, they keep doing it. You keep letting them get away with it. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to do this to this person over here, and it'll be your fault. That's bullshit right there. That's a way to manufacture consent, and it's highly unethical and unprincipled, and it's highly immoral. We shouldn't deal with it or in any way, shape, or form. So if you got to shut the government down, guess whose fault it is? The person who's trying to do this bullshit game. We're not supposed to play games like this in the government. So that is that, and that's how it is. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens, and I guess we'll talk about it on Saturday night. And hopefully, the good news of Saturday night will be the best thing for the American people happen. That would be good news for Saturday night on Winning Saturday Night this weekend. This Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will talk about the good news of the week. We will talk about cool things. We're going to do a extra special segment on some more flying things and delivering things, right? I got into the delivering bots and delivering drone things last night, and I was like, man, there's some cool stuff here I want to look at. So we're going to save it for tomorrow night. If you missed it, then you'll get to see it then too. And of course, we do funny videos, and there's a few funny videos out there somewhere. So, and I'm going to try to work in like end of the year lists as well for this weekend. Some end of the year lists, not mine, but other people's. That, you know, there's usually pretty funny ones out there, some pretty cool ones out there. So we'll probably start working those in towards the end of the year here, heading towards New Year's Eve, and all that, and some other cool stuff as well. All right, so let's get on to our next story. Not a ton of clear reports on the details of this out there. It's all emotional propaganda. GOP voted against pediatric care funding. It's all BS. Yeah. Coercion is a suitable tort, just saying. Is a suitable tort, just saying. Suitable tort. Coercion. How about persuasion? I like persuasion better. Coercion's like, that's the dirty version of persuasion, isn't it? I'll let her persuade you to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, right? By giving you points that point out why doing the right thing is the right thing to do, you know? And that's persuasion. Coercion's like, I got a gun and I'm gonna point it at your favorite pet, and if you don't do what I say, the pet gets it, right? That kind of shit. I can't be doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and follow MAGA voice over here. I gotta get back on the follow me back list. I can't believe 1,800. I got 8 followers now. I'm up to 8 followers on X. You remember the X count? Like we were doing the count. We were counting. We were counting up to. We're like, hey, look, it's almost like it was like a contest between Rumble and X. Rumble is now up to 573. So the new competition will be how fast can X catch up to Rumble, right? So right now, it looks like you got about 560 some to go, X. Good luck. We're all counting on you. I have to get the check mark going. I have to get verified, and that means I have to cancel my other verification. So that sucks. That sucks. I mean, at least I got a better URL, a better name. I got my full name there. I'll have to put you in there. I like the U though. I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad. So, anyways, look, but the URL looks nice. I'll put it out there for you guys. Look. Oh wow, look how nice it's. Look at that. Look at that. Oh wow, so nice and even and smooth. It's satisfying. Satisfying. Kids love satisfaction. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Help us grow on X. I've already updated it in the description as well. So there you have it. All right, our next story and our big headline stories. Let me go ahead and get the next playlist loaded up for you guys. I need to update it on my homepage descriptions. Yes, I do. I need to do that. I need to do things. I need to do things, Holly. I mean, Heidi. I was thinking I'll do them over the holidays, Heidi. I said Holly. I combined words in my mind and then said them. All right. Okay. Wow, we just heard from Greg. I'm gonna do back to Greg. I like Greg's takes, man. I got Greg, I got Tim on the same subject. This is from 2 hours ago, so I'm gonna go with Greg again to lead us into our next segment. Now, look, I'm gonna tell you something else I got for you tonight. All right, other things coming up. Joe Biden's dead. NSC advisor inside the White House details Biden can't say a sentence. Anyways, J6 report. Liz Cheney broke the law. We'll probably see some of that. We'll get the gist of that. So yeah, J6 investigations. FBI informant present on January 6th. My thoughts by Stephen A. Smith. We gotta take a look at that. I meant to go check over and on the Blaze too, see if there's any more to add. We're gonna do some J6 coverage. We are. Worst spending bill yet, says to Glenn Beck. Doge on the rise, says Glenn Beck. Let me go to videos here. Terrible pardons. Oh, the terrible pardons of Joe Biden. Yeah, let's throw that on the list too. I was gonna do a special on that one. I didn't. We'll let Glenn Beck tell us about it. Justice Trudeau lost all support in Canada. Will he resign soon? That'd be great. A scandemic, how fraudsters cashed in billions by what's his name? That's a little long. Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter's fiance, a lesson for all men. Okay. So yeah, nothing new on the J6 front coming off of Blaze TV, which is blazing the trail in the investigations. Also OMG, like I said, that was the undercover video of Biden is dead. We'll be looking at that. So I have James O'Keefe Media on here in a little bit. But let's get back to this our next top story for the evening. Fani spanked. Fani gets spanked. She gets spanked again. She just can't help it. Her ass is so large, you just have to spank it. So we're gonna check in with Greg. This is actually Greg's perfect for this report too. All right, there we go. Let's do it.
Your office objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
Well, no. Look, I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
So my question was, do you have any problem?
I object to getting any personal records of mine.
And here we go. A Georgia Court of Appeals has disqualified the Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, from that election interference case. It's coming down right now. The case against Trump and more than a dozen others already largely stalled, as you know. The new ruling means that it will be up to the prosecuting attorney's council in the state of Georgia to find another prosecutor to decide on the case, to take it over and make a decision as to whether or not they continue with the prosecution of the incoming president.
We're just going to throw
0-2. Baby girl, you're 0-2 because 9 times out of 10, you know, the prosecutor from YSL, she just can't seem to catch a win. So remember, she got packed off the YSL case. Young Thug and them, they packed up. Then she tried to go prosecute.
Is this guy a ghost? Is he have earthly nature, or is he a specter? Look at this guy.
Donald Trump, but then it says that they appeals.
He's the one disappearing, not the background. Him
is missing Fani Willis as prosecutor in Donald Trump's election case. Basically, because she got caught somebody in that case.
He looks like Michael Vick.
So you know what my next question is, right? Who you was in YSL or on that case that they had to pack you up? Because this is your second case getting packed up for some shit. And 9 times out of 10, it's all because you couldn't stay off of.
Catch me in my new movie that's coming out this summer. Ghost Brother.
Literally.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The day that we were all waiting for is finally here. It's finally here. Except not really. I mean, we've been waiting for this day, but actually, I'm waiting for the day that Fani Willis is in jail. But what we got today is a good consolation prize for right now. Okay, because Fani Willis has been disqualified from the Trump RICO case. In fact, her whole office has been disqualified because of the fact that it appears that her relationship with her boy toy, Nathan Hot Dog Wade, gave off the appearance of impropriety. Okay, and just because Nathan Hot Dog Wade was forced off of the prosecution team, that did not remedy the appearance of impropriety. Okay, as Judge McAfee said, there's still a strong odor of mendacity surrounding Fani Willis and Nathan Wade due to the fact that it seems as if they lied under oath about the beginning of their relationship, the timeline surrounding their relationship. Okay, so it seems to me that Judge McAfee didn't have the cojones to do what he knew was going to happen, right? So he decided to basically destroy the case slowly, right? Death by 1,000 cuts type of thing. Now you have the appeals court of Georgia, after basically putting a complete pause on the case, they've now come out and said, Fani Willis, you got to go, right? You got.
Hold on, I got to stop here real quick. Guys, we only got 2 likes over on Rumble. We got 11 watching. I know we had at least 3 or 3 people in the chat that I know of. If you could, please, pretty please, with sugar on it, hit that thumbs up because Rumble loves the thumbs up. It loves thumbs up. That's just the way it goes over in Rumble land. So would you please, 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 as a Christmas present to me, hit that thumbs up over there on Rumble for me. I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you are a Rumble, if you are a hybrid, if you're a hybrid viewer, as in you come to YouTube, but you also go to Rumble, if you wouldn't mind helping that Rumble stream out a little bit when we're not doing the old Rumble jump over, it would be a big help because we really need all the thumbs up we can get. The thumbs up over there, they've been struggling a little bit. I understand if you're on a phone that it gets a little difficult. But we're not getting as much push out, and I realize it's the end of the year, and a lot of people aren't online as much these days. But we're not getting a big push out there, and if they don't get the thumbs up, Rumble won't know to put us out there. They'll think that people don't think it's a thumbs up over here. The engagement's engagement, I think, with Rumble as well. But yeah, it would be especially this time of year, it'd be a big help to help boost the Rumble streams a little bit more out into the Rumble algorithm. They got one of those things. All right, let's get back to it. Thank you guys.
To go. Okay. And let's just say that the mainstream liberal media, liberals, they aren't taking this too well. Take a look.
We begin this hour with breaking news just into CNN. The Georgia prosecutor leading the state's election interference case against President-elect Donald Trump is now disqualified. CNN's Caitlin Polans is here with more.
I thought this guy retired, but now I've seen his face twice today. Oh God, smug person to the right here. I guess I don't know. Maybe she'll open her mouth and say something smart. I'm not feeling it though. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, Wolfram. That's for the Rumble side over there. Rumble side. I got the Rumble side right there. Thank you, sir. All right, I got the YouTube side. This is what the YouTube side looks like. This, and the Rumble side looks like that. See, all right. And yeah, you could also exit out as well. So yeah, Jim Acosta, man, I didn't even realize this guy was still alive. And I thought, and now I'm seeing his face more and more and more. And I'm just getting flashbacks to his old press conferences where he did nothing but be a complete douchebag the entire time and say dumb shit and cause commotions and try to disrupt and slander. And man, I mean, don't let this guy in. Please don't let this guy in. Don't let this guy in. Don't let him in the door. You're not coming to the press conferences. If they make him sit in the back and wear clown nose, all right?
Caitlin, what can you tell us about this? This is just coming in the last several minutes. This is a big development.
A big development, and a big development that Donald Trump has wanted for a long time. That case against him in Georgia, the criminal case where it's accusing him and several others of a racketeering conspiracy related to the 2020 election, it's already been paused. Now it's not even backburnered. This is a case that will be dead in the water because the Georgia Court of Appeals is now saying that Fani Willis, leader of the prosecution against Donald Trump, the district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, she should be disqualified from being able to bring that case. The Georgia Court of Appeals is saying that it's a significant appearance of impropriety caused by the conduct of a public prosecutor. That is Willis, how she behaved, how she was speaking about the case, about Trump publicly, about how she was having a relationship with the top prosecutor that was concealed in this, a man named Nathan Wade. All of that previously, the trial level judge had looked at and said, Fani Willis can stay on this case. We're not dismissing the indictment, but the Court of Appeals is now taking another look and saying, no, the trial judge was wrong. Fani Willis should be disqualified from continuing to lead this case. It would be a long process, or it will be a long process to replace her, which is why I say this case is dead in the water now without Fani Willis, the person who was leading this case against Donald Trump in Fulton County. And just to keep tabs on how many cases there are against Donald Trump criminally, the other two in federal court, January 6th, and classified documents, those are dismissed. And then the additional case in New York City, where he was set to be sentenced, that sentencing is now not happening. So as Donald Trump enters the presidency, each of these courts that is handling a criminal case is essentially removing that issue from him to have to deal with in any period of time in the near future.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, CNN admitted that, hey, it is likely that this case is over due to the fact that not only was Fani Willis disqualified, but her whole office was disqualified, which means that it has to go to a higher authority and they have to decide whether or not the case will continue and assign the case to some other prosecutor's office, which is highly, highly, highly unlikely that anybody is going to want to take up this case. But hey, that doesn't stop liberals from coping, right? Coping online, hoping that this case somehow will survive, even though there's like no chance. Take a look.
So Fulton County DA Fani Willis has been removed from the case against Trump by the Georgia Court of Appeals. Doesn't mean that the case is going to get dismissed necessarily. It just means that it's getting handed over to a different DA, to which it'll probably be dismissed. At this point, nothing is going to surprise me. Eventually, we knew, I mean, this is not shocking. We knew that this was going to go to...
Can you get any closer to your camera? Why don't you stick it in your mouth?
Eventually go to a court that was going to rule in Donald Trump's favor. That's how it works. You know, that's how law and order works in this country. If you have deep pockets and you're guilty of sin, you just employ every delay tactic that you can. And eventually somebody will find a court that rules in your favor. That's how the rich do it.
Yeah, that's how the rich do it. Is that right? How about how the corrupt do it? And then just like try to put charges on people that don't deserve them. How about that, huh? I wonder if she shaved her head. I mean, could you get any closer? You're so close to the camera, I can see your whiskers. I mean, come on.
You know, rather than fighting it in court and exonerating yourself, which, you know, but why do that?
Let's just make fake charges and make obstruct people's ability to live and take away their money. That's a good idea. I hope someone does it to you.
Fun in that.
I hope that someone sues you for being too close to the goddamn camera.
One thing I do know is that when final judgment comes, your deep pockets ain't gonna save you, bud. So
really? So when final judgment comes, like you're some kind of Christian woman? Is that the final judgment you're talking about? I don't think
that is a whole lot of okay. And let's not forget though, the defendants who decided to roll over and to take a plea deal, even though this case was weak as hell, they decided to take a plea deal. People like Jenna Elise, and she was boohoo whining, crying in court.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the opportunity to address the court. As an attorney who is also a Christian, I take my responsibilities as a lawyer very seriously, and I endeavor to be a person of sound moral and ethical character in all of my dealings. In the wake of the 2020 presidential election, I believed that challenging the results on behalf of President Trump should be pursued in a just and legal way. I endeavored to represent my client to the best of my ability. I relied on others, including lawyers with many more years of experience than I, to provide me with true and reliable information, especially since my role involved speaking to the media and to legislators in various states.
Yeah, embarrassing. So embarrassing. So that being said, let's actually watch MSNBC's coverage of this because, of course, again, they're coping as well, too. Oh, the fact that all of these political persecutions against Trump have basically fell apart. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Court. It is expected to be appealed to the Georgia Supreme Court, but this is a really decisive ruling against Fani Willis being able to.
Just to refresh anybody who's looking at this, going, "Oh wow, really?" We all forgot this is the woman who like took money, hired her lover, right, and went on vacations on the taxpayer's dime as she was creating charges that shouldn't be brought, that shouldn't exist. To charge the president on fallacies, basically. There's fallacy charges, false logic charges, with the just to obstruct, just to try to again, this is the kind of person who is destroying the justice system in America, right? And she's also getting fat and rich off of it as well. So stealing our money, stealing the president's time, obstructing his life, taking his money, just pure evil, working for the establishment, the corrupt establishment that's after us all. She doesn't care about your life. She doesn't care about justice. She doesn't care about anything but herself. And she's one of those useful idiots that eventually they come back and discard. So hopefully this is her big discard moment. Well, we shall see.
Continue this case.
Catherine, what's your reaction? What do you make of this ruling? It's not shocking. It was shocking when we found out that there was this relationship, and you just said it was an unforced error. But usually appellate courts defer to the lower court, the trial judge who fashioned a remedy. He said Nathan Wade, that's the man she was having an affair with, had to leave.
Yeah, having an affair with, that she gave the job to, of a ridiculously high salary, right? That the taxpayers paid for, right? And then they went on vacation and spending money on each other, our money. Right, all to pull up these fake charges against Trump. And this is how stupid people in Atlanta are. They reelected her. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, look. First of all, it was probably rigged. You probably stuffed the ballot box. Anyways, it's Atlanta, Georgia. What do you expect, right? That's the new reputation we got thanks to people like her and and power hungry Stacey Abrams, you know, who's like the Bigfoot of Georgia. What did we say last night? Pennsylvania's got Bigfoot. What would you say? Texas has the Chupacabra, and then Georgia has Stacey Abrams. Yeah.
This could stay. And this court has said, nope, they didn't. This court said that Judge McAfee did not really appreciate that her decision-making wasn't just the indictment. It was who to charge, how to charge it. And that's at the time when this alleged romantic relationship was going on. And they said that also was one of the reasons why they think it's more than an appearance of impropriety. It's a conflict of interest. And not just her, the entire office is disqualified. So this is another Trump indictment that sort of will disappear. And yes, they will appeal it, but you know, Donald Trump's defense team will use the same arguments that they did for Manhattan Days office and say,
yeah, that is total bullshit and never should happen in the first place.
He's now going to be president. This should be suspended while he's president because you can't prosecute a sitting president.
So you think this just goes away, that this is the end of this case?
Well, practically, yes. I'm certain, I shouldn't say I'm certain, probably the Fulton County DA will appeal it, but Donald Trump is going to be president and his lawyers are going to say, you know, he's not going to Fulton County to appear in any case. So if anything's going to happen, you have to wait until 2029 when he's no longer in office. So this effectively is another case that sort of will just, one of the 4 indictments that will disappear.
One option, and understanding, Greg, is this could end up being handed off to a different office, different prosecutor. Is there any other office or prosecutor in Georgia you think would make sense that would be willing to take this up?
She just said it's going to be over. Look at the face she's making. She's like, did I stutter? Like, I just explained to you, white girl. I just explained to you that he's a sitting president and this ain't going to happen. And they may try to do it, but his lawyers are going to use the same damn excuse. They're going to use the same damn comeback. And that, you know, this is a complete witch hunt and never should happen in the first place. And both these people are like, I can't believe she's asking this question. And she's like, doesn't even realize what she's doing. Like I just see like there's nothing in these eyes. Hold on. There's nothing in these eyes right here. They're dead. Dead eyes. And see that, look at her face. She's like, I just got through telling you, girl, that shit ain't happening. He's like, are you really just asking me the same question? I was like, okay, let's hear what they say.
That's such a good question because there is a prosecutor.
Oh, you thought that's a good question? Really? You thought that was a good question? Her face hadn't changed. Her face has not changed.
Attorney's counsel that could ostensibly take up a case like this. But earlier on this year, that same prosecuting attorney's counsel special prosecutor decided not to pursue similar charges against Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, who Fani Willis was earlier disqualified against seeking charges against because of another conflict of interest, a completely separate conflict of interest. Wow. So they've already signaled they're very unlikely to seek any sort of charges against any of these co-defendants. And it's also important to note that the judges, the benches, the appellate court benches in Georgia are very conservative. The Court of Appeals is very conservative, and the Supreme Court, 8 of the 9 justices were appointed by Republican governors. So it's a very conservative bench here in Georgia.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Sloppy work from Fani Willis.
Sloppy work. Fanny.
Just getting disqualified all over the place. Conflict of interest all over the place. But Fulton County, the voters, they voted this woman back in office. Shameful. They should be ashamed of themselves for voting this woman back in office. But hey, it is what it is. It is. Again, the reason why this happened, it should be a life lesson. Keep your damn legs closed, right? Women, keep your legs closed. Okay?
Keep closed.
If she would have kept her legs closed, who knows? Maybe she could have been the hero, right? The black woman hero that the liberal media was hoping that she would be, that the Democrats was hoping that she would be, right? But all because she could not resist some vitamin D from Nathan Wade, okay? You know, that's why she got herself in this situation. Also, on top of that, she had an opportunity to remove herself a long time ago. If she actually cared about getting the case to trial, getting the conviction, she could have removed herself before all this, right? She had an option. She could have said, okay, I'm gonna remove myself, and her office would have stayed on the case. Her office would have stayed on the case, and the case probably would have went to trial before the election.
Right?
Now, I'm not saying that the office would have got a conviction, but it probably would have went to trial. There would have been a good chance. But pride, ego, lack of discipline, right, basically made this whole thing fall apart. And again, is anybody surprised, right? Anybody surprised? Couldn't happen to a better person. So now, I don't think this is over, right? Fani Willis needs to be held accountable for lying on oath, right? She has not been complying with congressional subpoenas. She's been trying to hide evidence that maybe her office had been
Hey, Ronnie, how
colluding
you doing?
with the federal government when it comes to going after Trump. These are all things that need to be investigated.
I hear you.
You know, I would love to see this woman thrown in jail. Right? I'm just saying. That's how corrupt I think she is. So I'm happy about it.
I can hear
But
you saying that
I
right now.
think that this doesn't go far enough. I think that Fani Willis should be criminally prosecuted. That's what I believe. Okay.
I think she
Justice
should
will
be,
be served
deported.
until that happens. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and
Yeah,
subscribe.
man.
Most important,
Or in
share if you
jail.
like a certain perspective. Peace.
Perp Walker. Perp Walker. Perp Walker. There's that other guy who's still trying to push through. What time we got? We got time. Let's see. All right. Let's see. That's done. All right. So now we got this right here. Trump judge under fire for delays, longest performance in history, says legal experts. Turley says Judge Merchan's decision to keep Trump as defendant in waiting is perfectly horrific. It's true. It's true.
Trump in prison, despite the fact he's president-elect. And I'm warning you now, if Donald Trump does not have Kash Patel and Pam Bondi do the work story of corruption. The defendants argued that Willis financially benefited from the relationship with Wade with no ability. Then don't worry, it was paid back in cash. Well, I do believe, my friends, they are still going to try to put Donald Trump in prison, despite the fact he's president-elect. And I'm warning you now, if Donald Trump does not have Kash Patel and Pam Bondi do the work of bringing investigations to the forefront, of going after the corrupt elements of the deep state, Trump himself will be in prison. We have Harmeet Dillon, who's excellent, by the way. She's being brought in on civil rights issues, and hopefully she, along with Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, can bring criminal charges or at least begin the process. I don't know exactly what their roles, how their roles will function, but Kash could do this as head of FBI. Launch investigations into conspiracy against civil rights. That is in New York. What they're doing to Trump is fake. Now, many of you probably already know, but I know that there's many people who are new to what's going on in the news, and so I will explain to you why it's fake. Donald Trump was accused of falsifying business records in order to pay off Stormy Daniels and avoid negative PR. They say that he funneled this money to her and then called it a legal expense because it was all done through Michael Cohen. Well, the problem is Cohen said initially that Trump never told him to do it, but he knew what Trump wanted. Well, you can't prove that Trump actually ordered anything. Trump paid his lawyer, and his lawyer is doing whatever his lawyer was doing, but fine. Let's say the argument is that Trump intentionally falsified these records for which he's been criminally charged and convicted. 34 felony counts, they say. It's a misdemeanor. And that, in that regard, it was well beyond its statute of limitations. How then are they claiming it's a felony? Well, they said actually it was falsification of business records in furtherance of an additional crime. Okay. Wow, I can't believe Trump did that. What was the other crime? Oh, wait, there isn't one. So it's fake. If Trump does not get into office on the 20th and then bring the hammer down on these corrupt forces, we live in a banana republic. This country is just garbled nonsense. But I got to tell you, my friends, the sad reality is most people think the job is done. They really do. Now, there are still those of you watching this show right now who deeply care about what's happening. And we have fears and concerns. We, who are particularly politically active, know that there's no guarantees. And we are terrified of what could happen in the next 32 days. Maybe they arrest Trump. Who knows? Maybe that crazy guy the other day was right and the liberals send 11 million people to D.C. for their own January 6th and stops Trump. I have no idea. But there are a lot of people who stopped paying attention. They feel like, well, moving on, right? We voted. We did it. Everything should get better now. We are hoping. And I can respect it to a certain degree. It's not everyone's job to be hyper-focused on politics. But right now, Trump is still at war with this corrupt element of government that's not going to back down. I mean, take a look at the continuing resolution. They know Trump's about to get in. They are trying to sabotage everything. In fact, that continuing resolution reportedly has a provision that would prevent Congress or anyone from getting a subpoena on House data, which would effectively shield all of these corrupt members of Congress for any impropriety. Now, of course, we focus on, say, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, those involved in the J6 subcommittee who were either tampering with witnesses or withholding evidence or lying and leaking classified information. We're going to need those subpoenas. But this is the game they're playing because they lie, cheat, and steal. Now, my friends, you may be asking, how do they get away with it? How is it that we only have a handful of members of Congress who actually are good people? Right. Unfortunately, it's because after the election, people checked out. That's where we're at. A lot of these people just said, I did my job. Now here we are. We have this from Fox News. Trump judge under fire for delays. Longest performance in history, says legal expert. Turley says Judge Merchan's decision to keep Trump as defendant in waiting is perfectly horrific. Fox News contributor and George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley said Tuesday that Judge Juan Merchan's decision to uphold Trump's 34-count felony conviction continues his perfectly horrific and longest performance of Hamlet in history. He said, well, actually, do they have the video? Let's play the video.
And New York Judge Juan Merchan upholding President-elect Trump's conviction for falsifying in this case now. What was the judge's reasoning? If you were to put yourself in his shoes, what was he saying?
Well, he really iron-plated this decision. He said, first of all, this was not official conduct, but even if it was official conduct, it wasn't protected. And even if it was protected and some evidence came in that shouldn't have come in, it was all harmless error. So you can pick any one of those three and he would still be good to go. That is an opinion that is likely to get support from some people on the appellate level. What's interesting about the opinion is it really contradicts what many in the media have said for months, that the Supreme Court's decision granted sweeping immunity, that it was a, quote, death squad ruling. Merchan had no difficulty in finding exceptions that might apply to this case. So I think a lot of judges would probably agree with the outcome, not necessarily all of the reasoning of Judge Merchan, but we will have to see. There are good faith arguments the Trump team made and will make on appeal.
And Stephen Chung, as a Trump spokesperson, said this: the decision is a direct violation of the Supreme Court's decision on immunity and other longstanding jurisprudence.
But
President Trump must be allowed to continue the presidential transition process and execute the vital duties of the presidency. Could this spill into the new administration?
Well, that's the real question we're struggling with, Dana, here, because this judge has the longest performance of Hamlet in the history of New York and Broadway. I mean, we're waiting for him to just simply reach these decisions so that we can have clarity and, more importantly, an appeal. So he's got a number of objections to how he handled the trial. Some of us believe the trial is riddled with reversible error.
Well, of course it is.
He's unlikely to find that he committed those errors. And then he's got to deal with the sentencing question. You have District Attorney Bragg saying, well, maybe we should just leave him in sort of suspended animation for 4 years. That would leave the leash in the hands of Judge Merchan.
Trump has to come in. Trump has to enter office and bring down the hammer. These people need to be brought to heel. They have been lying and cheating and stealing for too long.
Yep.
My friends, I've been making this point quite a bit. The law is not what's written down. The law is what constitutes the people, and whether or not they are willing to support or oppose something. And the reality is the people of New York want this to happen largely. I know we can all say a major shift towards Donald Trump in the election, but they don't care. I'm surprised Daniel Penny actually was acquitted in the Neely case, but they still protest in New York. Those elements still exist. The man was lucky.
Yeah, well, the protesters are always going to be the Marxists, and the useful idiots of the Democrat Party. It's always what it is.
Right now, what we are seeing and what we've seen is that there are Democrats, uniparty establishment forces that do not care what the law says, do not care what is true. They will lie and do whatever they can. And guess what? This is the problem we have as a society, as a country. The left knows, they agree. Take a look at the United Healthcare alleged assassin. Luigi Mangione. They
Mangione.
openly conflate Kyle Rittenhouse with Luigi Mangione. They are trying to imply that Kyle Rittenhouse went out to an event and looked at people he hated and premeditated gunned them down. This is not what happened. Kyle Rittenhouse was rendering aid to these people until someone threatened to kill him and someone else fired a gun. After a man grabbed his gun, he fired on him. As he ran to get help, someone hit him with a skateboard and knocked him to the ground, and he fired in self-defense. And another guy ran up with a handgun, and he fired in self-defense. We don't want that to happen. We are sad that it happened. That's it. Luigi Mangione premeditated, allegedly, this assassination, showing up and shooting the man in the back, and they conflate that. They don't care about what is honorable, what is true, and what is moral. They care about winning and gloating about it because they're demons. I'm not saying literally every Democrat or liberal is a demon. Some of them are just ignorant and not really paying attention. Some of them know that the elements of the left are evil, but they're like, yeah, but I'll get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we see in Congress right now with this continuing resolution. Basically, them saying that we'll pass this bloated continuing resolution if I get one little tiny thing that I want. So everybody gets their wish answered, even if it's chaos. It is obvious, my friends. The left doesn't care about norms or rules or what's on paper. They will lie. The E. Jean Carroll case is insane. The civil fraud case against Trump, where the alleged victim said we were not defrauded. Trump told us about these things and made us money, and we want to work with him again. Nope, it's still fraud. Take his money, take his buildings, make him put up $100 million. They won't stop. If Donald Trump does not get in and bring down the hammer, we are going to see a rapid escalation of, let's just call it Banana Republic-esque fake law. People seem to think they live in this world where they're like, but the law says you can't do this. Hey, police can't enter my home without a warrant. Surprise, surprise, they did anyway. Because some people really do live in this world where they think if it's written down, that's the only thing that can happen. And that is just not. There you go. I'm going to leave it at that because we got another report coming up here shortly from Tim. But yeah, that's the case. It's a little infuriating. But you know what? I think it'll work itself out. I think it'll work itself out. And and he better come in swing. Tim is right though. Trump needs to come in swing, and no more kid gloves for these criminals, man. I didn't want to, throw the ex-president's wife in prison. She's a criminal. We don't care if she was the president's wife. We don't care. It would look bad. Look bad to who? Look bad to who? Right? She's a criminal. Look what they're doing to you. You're president. You're not some president with wife, right? You're president. Look what they're doing to you. I mean, come on. At some point, you got to be like, look, they're never going to get it. I don't know that Trump, sometimes I'm wondering like how his perception on things are, maybe what his ultimate reason would be. Give it over to God. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just he goes with his gut. I don't know. I mean, anybody who thinks he's mean or like unruly or an authoritarian, man, just take a look at who he hasn't gone after. They totally could have. He could have buried Clinton, but he didn't do a damn thing. And instead he took the blows. Instead he took false claims about him and obstruction to his administration for 4 years and then beyond. And when he had a chance to do something, he didn't do it. We need him to show that right cross, man, that left hook. We need him to show that he can fight and knock some people down and knock them out. Like, it's okay to do it. No one's gonna be mad. I don't know it's not gonna look bad to us. It won't look bad to us. We're gonna be like, yeah, go. Don't worry. If you think it's gonna be looking bad to somebody, their opinions don't matter, man. Most of us are gonna be like, yes. I mean, dude. Most of us are going to be like, go for it. I mean, who cares what the media says? Who cares about the audience, the unseen audience? This whole I'm on a sitcom, I'm on a TV show mentality where the unseen audience is making judgments about you. It's like most of the time, nobody even is making any judgments, really. And if they are, that's individual and it's in their head. It doesn't matter. Just arrest the criminals. Just stop the corruption. That's your job. Like,
I said in his first term, just grabbing hold and control over the GOP and destroying the illusion of choice and starting to completely disintegrate the false left right paradigm. That was the biggest win he had. I know he did so much more and so many great things. That was the most important, fundamentally important thing he did in his first term. And had he not done that, had he not come around and been able to run off many folks and fire many folks and expose many things, that would eventually lead to a rebound here in 2024 and a bigger, broader, more capable and more integral, honest team. That would have been a failure, right? Had he not been able to do that, it would have been a failure. I know, because Ron Paul ran twice and we weren't able to kick down that door. And instead we got McCain and Romney, right? Two establishment neocon rhinos who were picked to lose to Obama, the Marxist, the cultural Marxist Obama, who fundamentally transformed this country into a corrupt, almost completely dystopic, destroyed country. Yeah, who was priming it for a takeover, priming it for the destruction of the Constitution. I know. We tried, but Trump did it. And so that was his biggest accomplishment. That's been done. And now we have our foot in the door. We held on to it for 4 years through Biden, and we're back. And I think we're going to be able to hang on to it for a long time coming. We just have to make sure that we never let the neocons back in or the rhinos back in. We can't let them sneak back in. We can't let them pretend to be us and then try to get in. We have to stay vigilant. And we have to take the grassroots following the base crowd that got him there and hand that base crowd responsibility down to ours and find more people to join us and hand it down generationally. And then we'll hang on to it. And we'll keep that false left paradigm from ever happening again. God, if they ever get it again, we might not ever be able to break it again. I'll tell you that. But this administration will be a failure if he does not combat the corruption and does not do that efficiently. If he does not take the gloves off and start knocking some teeth out, I'm afraid this one will be the same way. He can't go gently. He can't go gently in the night. He can't go like kid gloves. You can't be like, well, I didn't want it to look bad. No, it's going to look great to the people who elected you. So you have to do it. You got to do it. You got to get in there. We want to see corrupt people behind bars, out of business, and broke. Okay, I don't care who they are, what they've done, who they're married to, what positions they've held, where they're at. I don't care if you got to go around the world to find them. It's got to get done. Or this administration, this run may be a failure. And if you leave the corruption sitting out there, you leave I'm talking like on all levels of deep state apparatus, right? If you leave it out there, we got, we're talking about 2028 now. 2028 you're gonna make it. We're gonna have a hard time. 2028 can be a smooth sail. It could be a smooth sail. I think it could be a lot smoother than we've ever seen before, ever. And that doesn't mean, hiding the truth from the brainwashed first veil establishment, useful idiots. The brain, the mind controlled first veilers. It doesn't mean hiding the truth from them. Let them cope. Let them see. Let them rage. Their numbers are shrinking by the day, and they're not having kids. So who cares? Let it go. We need fury, man. We need, they'll take some Marxist minded a-hole will take that out of context. Not like anybody listen to my show anyways, but someone would take that out of context if I was had a bigger voice and say, oh, listen to what he's calling for. He's calling for that. Shut the fuck up. Right? No one's buying your goddamn mind games. No one's buying your mind games, dude. I'll call your mind games out as you're playing them. I won't argue back. I'll just say you're just playing, dude. You're just playing mind games. You don't even mean what you're saying. You're trying to take it and create a straw man out of it. Shut up. The truth is that these people need to be arrested and called out and arrested a long time ago. And the reason why we struggle, the reason why we have the problems we do, the reason why we have so many demoralized people in this country, we have so many people that are completely paralyzed with fear in this country on all sides, is because people like this have been allowed to exist and persist and continue. There's so many people that are in government making tons of our money that should be behind bars. I mean, there's a guy that's the president of the United States that should be behind bars. You know, there's a whole platform of people called the Democrat Party, and most of them should probably be behind bars. They're probably doing some pretty bad stuff, and yet we let them go. We let them continue. For what? Because we're scared of what people may think. How would that look? You're scared of how it might look? Who cares? How does it look right now to have a mummified president in the White House who's just completely sold the country out? And you know, all of his corruption and all of his lies and everything else is just constantly out there for anybody to see. You think Russia and China and other countries around the world are stupid? You don't think they can see it? You don't think they have intelligence? Their own intelligence apparatuses? You don't think they have a corridor to the truth? Freaking ridiculous. No, you must go out and you must beat down the corruption and kick it out and put it behind bars and erase it and then show it to the world and HD color, right? Show it to the world so that no one will ever do it again. That's how you remove the enablement for that corruption. You have to stop letting it look like it's achievable. You have to make it look like it's a bad decision for those corrupted, evil-minded, psychopathic, narcissistic people who want to go be part of that. You want to close their eyes and stick bananas in their ears. That's what you got to do. All right, so here we go. Speaking of which, January 6th is another mechanism they use to slander and paint the people in a bad light. Something they set up, something they enabled to happen, and they blamed Trump for. And Trump needs to do something about it. He needs to do something about it. Of course, he'll free the people, but he also needs to investigate the people who orchestrated it and then blamed him. And he needs to go after him viciously. They physically attacked his family, which really they have. He needs to be the protective dad, grandfather, and leader to us all. Right now, on this issue is another one, not to mention his personal issues, not to mention the ones that all the corrupt people have gotten away with for so long as they pardon pedophiles and other unsavory people on their way out the door, right? But also what they've done to all of us. So go after them. Let's hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say on 2.5 speed about FBI informants present on January 6th. His thoughts. I hear this is a pretty good base take, so let's check it out.
Politics before we get on out of here, as we've now entered the final month of Joe Biden's presidency. And for the sake of argument, it hasn't been a good one. The Democrats lost the White House, Senate, and House in the November election. Meanwhile, this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced plans to resign at the end of the Biden administration as President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. So 23 folks for the FBI were in the crowd. And we're just finding that out. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee, by President Biden before her, by Democrats in both the House and the Senate as they articulated the belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as a profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case. And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that the process is rigged, the Democrats are this or that, they're talking about us, but look at what they do. We don't know all the details. It's a report. Justice Department comes out with this. That's not my big issue. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. Where's the $1.5 billion that was given to the Democratic Party? Where is it? Where'd the money go?
What's the money, Gary?
Why was Oprah given $2.5 million? Why was Al Sharpton's National Action Network given that much money? Before interviews, by the way. Why? I think it was $500K for the National Action Network. Why? I want to be clear. I don't have any problem with the National Action Network taking that money because they don't have a lot of money. I have more of a problem with Oprah taking $2.5 million when she's worth over $1 billion. But speaking to us as if her heart and soul was so immersed in supporting Kamala Harris. Well, then why didn't you do it for free? I'm just asking. I'm just asking these things because I think it's important. And I think that the time has arrived where we have to stop letting stuff go all the time, particularly when it comes to the left. I mean, I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of? I'm getting to the Democratic Party. You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right. I would love to argue with Sean Hannity. How can I? Do you know what Sean Hannity used to do to me when I told him Kamala Harris had a chance? He'd laugh. Like literally, genuinely giggle.
Because it was funny.
He'd go on TV and put on a straight face to y'all. You gotta be concerned. This election could go either way. He laughed. He wasn't concerned about her. Before I called out Biden, he was calling Biden Sleepy Joe. What's percolating on social media today? Just go and look at it, y'all. Joe Biden is caught napping at an African summit in Angola for at least a full minute. They didn't say whether he was snoring or not. That's about all that was missing. But he was clearly asleep. I'm not going to pardon my son. I want to state for the record, I have no problem with him pardoning Hunter Biden. I had a problem with him trying to act like it was unjust what was being done in pursuit of getting after my son because they wanted to get to me. All you had to say was, I'm pardoning my son because he's my son. You couldn't just say that, though. You know why you couldn't say that, President Biden? Because you had been telling us it was the last thing that you were going to do.
Because he's a liar. Newsflash, Stephen, he's a liar.
Why did Jean-Pierre
wake up, dude?
Remember how she said he will absolutely not pardon his son? It's all over social media right now. They kept saying it. It's everywhere. How many times did the Democrats tell us no one's above the law? No one's above the law. No one's above the law.
They lied to
Nancy
you,
Pelosi,
Stephen.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Wake up.
Elizabeth Warren, who makes you feel like your soul is going to hell if you don't agree with her.
She lies to you.
Inconsistency after inconsistency after inconsistency.
Mm-hmm.
We can argue policies. We can argue politics all day long. But the Democrats worked really, really diligently to make the case that the right had a monopoly on insidious, evil tendencies.
They lied to you, Stephen. Wake
tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies. And every time
reality, Stephen,
they made those accusations, we turn around and find out
it's them.
That at least some of them are guilty of the same shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it.
He's on his way, guys. This is a guy who's on his way. He's on his way. Let's see if he means it. But he's on his way. He's crossing the line over. He's on that line that the first veil is coming down.
I'm sick of all of it. they've actually
Which you figured out they were always this way. Wait, Stephen, did you forget that the Democrats are the party of the KKK? They still are. They always have been. And they always will be.
Donald Trump looked like he was right instead of them.
Because he was.
Think about that.
You think about it.
He didn't just get to raise his fist on election night as a victor. He's been raising it every night ever since for one different issue after another that he keeps winning because he keeps highlighting what they lied about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of it. I have nothing to say.
Uh-oh.
Enjoy your weekend. I got to get to Vegas.
All right.
For the Emirates Cup semifinals.
Good. Have fun in Vegas there, Stephen. And maybe do some soul searching while you're there, my man. It said just came into the world yesterday. Sad. It's like they just came. Yeah. That's what happens. That's what happens. And he's watching Tatum. He can get there. See, that's Tatum's role model leadership working on him right there. He'll get to him. He'll come around. You want to be a chump? Be a chump, or not. But we got another guy coming in. Another guy coming in to the fold here on this quick report. His name's Kash Patel, and Kash Patel has some plans to do something with this J6 investigation. Check this story out. You might not have heard this little detail yet. Maybe you have, but if not, thank you. And make sure that you listen to the wolf. He knows what he's talking about. Even if you're, no matter where you're at, if you're on Rumble, here, look, this one's for you. That one too. See? YouTube and Rumble. There you go. All right. So please listen to the wolf. He does know what he's talking about. He's a wise wolf. He is indeed. All right. Kash Patel. Are the Democrats trying to block Kash Patel's J6 investigation with hidden protections and in this god dang and funding bill? Spending bill? Is that what the deal is? All right. Check it out.
A continuing resolution, a short-term funding bill for the government, which basically means Congress is incompetent and dysfunctional and can't actually put together a budget. So they're going to spend hundreds of billions of dollars of your money and money they print out of thin air upon the issuance of debt, which basically means the country's burning down and nobody's fixing it. Anyway, I'm ranting. Okay. Anyway, so they're offering up a continuing resolution. A lot of people are really mad. Hidden within this, there is a provision that would at least temporarily inhibit or otherwise obstruct the investigation into members of the House. That's where things get interesting. Now, I don't even need that provision to be in it for it to be a bad idea, but, whatever. Right now, you've got Vivek Ramaswamy having read through 1,500 pages of this CR, and he's basically like, this is insane. No one should vote for this. But there is a core story here that is not surprising to me. We have this from this morning from @Amuse on X. Continuing resolution prevents Trump's DOJ from investigating Congress. Really now? Well, the reaction is, sure, there's a provision, which I'll read for you in a second, that makes it very difficult to investigate. It doesn't outright say you can't do it. It just basically inhibits you from doing it. And the counter is, but it's only temporary. This continuing resolution only goes, I believe, until March. And then they'll have to figure something else out. Yeah. Then they'll do another continuing resolution. Then they'll say, we're just going to adopt the continuing resolution as our spending bill. This happens all the time. So don't give them an inch. We did not grind our fingers to the bone for years to win this political movement just so that weak-willed people in Congress who are scared of losing the midterms would sacrifice everything. Sorry, I'm not interested. But let's read this. Amuse says, on the heels of the report, the DOJ obtained the emails of Schiff and Swalwell proving they leaked classified documents to the media. Congress has inserted language into the continuing resolution, allowing it to quash any subpoena Kash Patel or Pam Bondi might issue for House data. This would make any investigation into the J6 committee all but impossible. It would cripple any investigation into Schiff and Swalwell. Of course. That's the game that they're playing. Let me show you over here. This is the provision. So on the original tweet, Kerr-Mel says, I've asked people to verify Amuse is telling the truth. So take a look at this. We have the actual language here. We have we have section D, page 239. It says motions to quash or modify. Upon a motion made promptly by a House office or provider for a House office, a court of competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance with the legal process would require the disclosure of House data of the House office. No, hold on there a minute. Let me just read this once again, try and understand what I'm reading. Upon a motion made promptly by a House office or provider for a House office, a court of competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance would require the disclosure of House data. Why is that in there? Honest question. I don't know, okay. Let's throw the J6 stuff. Let's throw the committee aside and just say, for what reason would they include a provision that says, in the event of legal action against us, we can just quash it? Meaning the court will just be like, denied. What are they trying to hide? And why would we not be allowed to have a standard legal process for investigation into wrongdoing? Interesting. It goes on to say information regarding implications of using providers. The Office of the Chief Administrative Office, in consultation with the House Office of General Counsel, shall provide information regarding the potential constitutional implications and the potential impact on privileges that may be asserted to each House office that commissions and uses a provider of electronic communication and remote computing services. They're basically saying that if, I'm assuming this is their cell phone provider, there is an action against them, they're going to have to say, no, you're not allowed to get access to any of that information. Probably because they're going to want to subpoena the phone records of these individuals who leaked confidential materials. It goes on to say nothing in this section shall be construed to limit or supersede any applicable privilege, immunity, or other objection that may apply to disclosure of House data. Well, here's the news is saying, NBC. Congress releases short-term funding bill as deadline nears to avert a holiday shutdown. The measure would keep the government funded until March 14th, throwing a messy deadline into Trump's first 100 days while giving the GOP more leverage to shape a full funding deal. I'm going to throw it to Vivek Ramaswamy.
All right.
Let's see what he has to say, because he's the Doge guy.
But I wanted to, that was from yesterday. So we already went through the rest of this. But just putting that out there, trying to obstruct. We're keeping an eye on obstruction. This is an obstruction watch because we know that's part of the deep state plans, right? Any way they can, they're going to try to sneak something in here, sneak something in there, pull a little of this, pull a little of that. That's what I'm saying. Trump has to come in swinging. None of this nice guy shit. None of this. It might look bad to somebody. That doesn't matter. Come in swinging, start knocking heads off. Don't care what the media says. Don't care what the outraged Marxists think. Don't care what any of those fuckers think. They're not going to matter. They're going to age out and go away. All right? What matters is the future. It always does. We're living well today. And we'll live better tomorrow. Especially as the corruption starts to be dissipated. As corruption goes away, things get better. But what really matters is tomorrow, the future, down the road, right? And I don't care how somebody may think it looks. History's written by the winners. Let's win. We're trying to win our reality here, all right? We're not just trying to worry about what other people think. If I worried about what other people thought, I'd be one of those ass-kissing social politicians. Hello. Oh, well, hi, you're so awesome. I don't know you, but I'll just kiss your ass. Right? I'm not like that. Neither is Jacob Castro, by the way. Neither is Jacob Castro. And I think that's what I think that is appealing to some people. I think more people like to be schmoozed and have their asses kissed and wear masks around to masquerade parties and act like they're more important than they are and act like they're nicer than they really are. I'm just who I am. Just who I am. I put it all out there. This is my mission. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing. And I ain't playing your social politician games, and I ain't playing nice guy if it didn't call for it. I mean, I'm generally a good person, so I know that. And that doesn't mean that you have to be fake, right? We can win. We must win. We must choose to win. That's right, Jacob. That's right. We're after our reality, man. We're not after some kind of feel-good validation moment. We're not after some kind of bullshit validation moment. We're after our reality. We want to win reality. We don't want to like lose it to a bunch of weirdos and a bunch of narcissists and a bunch of evil-minded, elitist, diseased people and their utopian ideas of control and authoritarianism, and all backed by the energy of evil in this world. We don't want to lose to those people. You know, oh, hi, I'm a super nice guy. I'm really concerned about this thing. No, you're not. You know? Oh, hey, we're the cool guys. No, you're not. You're the gang of people that aren't, right? And that's that. You can't worry about impressing or getting validation from people like that. And that's, you know, so who cares? Come out swinging. Come out and win. Come out and fight and win. Fight and win your reality from those who try to take it and turn it into something shitty. That's what Trump's got to do. All right. That's what Trump's got to do. And these stories are proving it. They're all coming together to say what we're trying to, you know, what the main topic is here tonight. If I change the title, win your goddamn reality, people. All right. I wanted to talk about, where is this awesome list of mine? Oh yeah. Got one more on the J6 thing from our good friend Robert Grovea. Okay, now look, we're not going to watch all this. Don't freak out and leave. All right, we're going to like the first couple minutes of this, but this has to do with J6 as well. So this is in the J6 folder. So we're probably going to listen to a summary and a little bit of the beginning of this, and then we're going to get on to is Biden dead? That's the next one. All right. So let's check it out.
Now, evidence uncovered by the subcommittee revealed that Liz Cheney, here it comes, tampered with at least one witness called Cassidy Hutchinson, aka Clavicle Girl, by secretly
Clavicle Girl
communicating with Hutchinson without Hutchinson's attorney's knowledge. Cheney and Hutchinson attempted to disbar Stephen Passatino, and Hutchinson misrepresented President Trump's actions at the Lafayette Square Park. Lies. 8 of 8 lies. Based on all of this evidence.
Hold on. Is Cassidy Hutchinson the chick that came up there and was like, was that the girl that that was talking about like Trump tried to grab the wheel? Is that the grab the wheel girl? Is that the hearsay girl? Is that who that is? I hate Miss Piggy. Yeah, me too. But Kermie, but is that who that is? Hold on.
Numerous federal laws were likely broken. And who broke those laws? Liz Cheney did. Liz Cheney belongs in jail. She committed crimes. That's the conclusion that came out.
Why do they call her Clavicle Girl? Does she have big clavicles or something? She got a clavicle fetish? Like, what is it going on with why do they call it? She got clavicle piercings? Why do they call her Clavicle Girl? She like clavicle sex? Is she clavicle sexual?
from this report. You can see it's the interim report dropped on December 17, 2024. So this is a fresh one, and it's drafted for us courtesy of Barry Loudermilk, Chairman, Subcommittee on House Administration.
Georgia, man. Barry is doing good work on this J6 stuff, man.
And here's what it says. The events of January 6 were preventable. For nearly 4 years, Democrats pushed the narrative that President Trump was solely responsible for the riot at the Capitol. Not true.
Sure
They
did.
spent millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars on a politically motivated witch.
She did. This is the one. I thought I recognized the name. Thank you for that, Jacob. I got a special treat just for that. We'll let this play, and then after this, the special treat.
While failing to legitimately examine how the U.S. Capitol leadership was unable to ensure adequate protection for members of Congress and the staff. Now, that's just a part of it. Incredibly, it would take nearly 4 years for video footage to emerge of Speaker Pelosi in a rare moment of true leadership, right? Really needling her on that. Finally, leadership from Nancy, finally admitting that she was fully responsible for the security failures that day. Now, while Democrats politicize the security and prioritize personal political futures for themselves, the subcommittee's unbiased,
to be honest, man, if I'm being honest, Clavicle Girl is pretty hot.
Approach them to our investigation produced previously undisclosed evidence that undermines the committee. So here's the juicy bits. Based on the evidence obtained by the subcommittee, numerous federal laws were likely broken by Liz Cheney, the former vice chair of the J6 Select Committee. In the beginning of this document, we'll examine how they explain how Select Committee was illegally constituted under their own rules. And these violations should be investigated by the FBI. Now, evidence uncovered by the subcommittee revealed that Liz Cheney, here it comes, tampered with at least one witness called Cassidy Hutchinson, aka Clavicle Girl, by secretly communicating with Hutchinson without Hutchinson's attorney's knowledge. And this secret communication with the witness is improper, and it likely violates 18 U.S. Code 1512, which is the exact statute that we said she was guilty of a week ago. Such action is outside the due functioning of the legislative process, not allowed to break the law. Menendez got prosecuted for bribery. You can't use your office to call U.S. attorneys and put pressure on them. That's insane. You can't use your position on the J6 committee to go in and interfere with witnesses who are represented by counsel. That's illegal, not protected by the speech and debate clause. Indict her. The FBI must also investigate Representative Cheney for violating 1622, which is suborning perjury, which prohibits any person from procuring another person to commit perjury, which is what, in my opinion, Clavicle Girl Cassidy Hutchinson did. Based on the evidence that was obtained by this subcommittee, Hutchinson, Clavicle Girl, committed perjury when she lied under oath to the committee. And who got her to do that? Liz. Additionally, Hutchinson was interviewed by the FBI as part of its investigation into President Trump. Now, this subcommittee sought a copy of the FBI 302 report documenting this interview, but the FBI has refused to produce this vital document, doesn't want to hand it over. I wonder why. Now, the FBI must immediately review the testimony given by Hutchinson in this interview to determine if she also lied in her FBI interview. And if so, the role that Liz Cheney played in instigating Hutchinson to radically change her testimony. And Stephen Passatino, her attorney, is the person who was protecting her. Liz Cheney's a lawyer, knows that. You're not allowed to contact and communicate with somebody when they're represented by counsel. It's unethical.
I'm a neocon. It's okay.
Cheney did it, and she used the power of the select committee to do it.
Sure
now, the
did.
FBI and hopefully Cash Patel comes in here and just unloads these reports. Cash, we need Hutchinson's 302, all right? Even if Christopher Wray shredded it, the FBI still has not admitted what records it received from the select committee. Of course not. Some statements made by Jack Smith's team revealed that the special prosecutor got witness transcripts that were not publicly released by the committee. So why did Jack Smith get some records, but the American people did not? However, the special counsel has never acknowledged, he's not even a real boy, so what can he acknowledge? How many transcripts he received, or whether he has also received video recordings of these transcribed interviews that the select committee failed to archive. Now, it is clear from Congressman Benny Thompson's admission that he violated House rules by deleting the select committee's recordings of transcribed interviews. The select committee recorded hundreds of transcribed interviews, but Thompson chose to delete these recordings, and instead of archiving them as required by the House rules, they didn't do it. As chair of the select committee, Thompson was solely responsible for complying with the House rules. By deleting these recordings, they prevented House Republicans from reviewing these videos, which could have contained important information, specifically with respect to the interviews of Cassidy Hutchinson. Now, these are crimes that must be fully investigated, and individuals held responsible to maintain the trust of the American people in their government have fallen below the line, and there need to be investigations that happen. In January.
Yes. There's a lot of backstory on this. This is a long video. It's 45 minutes. We're not going to go through the whole thing. That's what she did. Hutchinson. I remembered the name. Jacob Castro confirmed it for me. And you know why I remember that name? Because I remember when this happened. And it was two years ago. Is it really 2 years ago? Hold on. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. It's like longer than that. This is June 30th, 2022. June 30th, 2022 is when she made these statements, evidently around that time. Actually, it was probably right before that. It was probably like a week or two before that, maybe at most. All right. I know this. You know why I know this? Because I made a video about it. So we're going to go back in the Winning Reality archives here. And this is back in the day where I didn't speak in my videos I don't even think I did lives back in at this time. Maybe I did. I might have done lives at this point. But I was doing a lot of songs 2.5 years ago. And made me remember this is actually a song. Maybe I should take this song and have my new band Suno do it. But this is actually a song that I did. And I made a video. And it was not that popular. Because I wrote it just for this. Actually, but I did write this song. And we got 607 views. That's better than this is better than these days. So 607 views. Of course, it's had 2.5 years to get views, but and I probably don't have it tagged, or I probably don't even, nothing. Look at this. That's my description. I probably don't have much of it going on at all, but yep. Let's take a look back 2.5 years ago as to what I was thinking and saying and how I was doing things. For you guys that hadn't been around that long, this should be a real treat. I'll give you the whole screen. Let's go.
Extraordinary details there, Jessica. How revealing was your testimony? Hugely.
I'll turn it up a little bit. For some reason it's low on my end, so let's try to
Extraordinary details there, Jessica. How revealing was your testimony? Hugely.
He was under the impression.
Objection on hearsay. Objection on hearsay. Objection on hearsay. Objection on hearsay. Objection on hearsay.
We're not. We don't have the access to do it. It's not secure. We're going back to the West Wing. The president had
objection on hearsay.
Very strong.
Objection on hearsay. 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 Object to the extent of hearsay and lack of foundation and improper explanation.
Call them all out. 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 We gotta call out the message. Call them all
Old school winning. It's old school winning right there. Yep. And a bunch of mud. I think I still have the track. I should upload the track and give my new band Windsuit a shot at that song. Maybe I'll redo it and maybe I can make it make sense a little bit better. It'll at least it will even it out a little bit. At the very least, it'll maybe do that. But yeah. You should redo it now and post it. Tag that bish and chine. Shane. Yeah. Chane. It should happen. I'll redo it. I'll try to redo it. It'll give me something to do. I don't have enough already to get ready for the new year. Wow. All right. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, that's right. We got to go check on Joe Biden. I hear he might be dead. Let's go check it out. All right. Away we go. Yep. James O'Keefe in the house, y'all. James O'Keefe. He's a good lad. He's a good lad indeed. Santa Rex. All right. Well, I didn't scare too many people off with that, so that's good. Here we go. Advisor, Intelligence Programs Directorate, National Security Council, Henry A. Appel, drinking his wine ever so casually out on some Tinder date or something. Because that's how O'Keefe gets all these chumps to spill their guts. All right, let's hear it.
Well, here's something Joe Biden is
I'm sorry, grinder date.
Yeah, he candle to say something. She's really progressed in his holding. Everybody recognized. I can't believe it wasn't a bigger scandal. He'll be dead in a year.
Meet Henry Appel, an advisor to the National Security Council. Henry Appel shared that President Biden had called the NSC White House phone while on a foreign trip looking for NSC advisor Jake Sullivan. Henry told the president that, in fact, Mr. Sullivan was not at the White House, but on the same foreign trip as President Biden.
My boss was on an international trip with him, in Europe or something. The phone rang in the office, and I was like, "Oh, Mr. President, Henry." He was like, "He's safe there." He's like, "No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip that you are."
In another encounter with President Biden, Henry Appel from the National Security Council revealed a phone call exchange. On the call, Biden was asking for NSC advisor Jake Sullivan. Henry told Biden that Sullivan had left the office for the day. Biden stated he would call Sullivan's personal phone. Instead, Biden called the same office 10 seconds later, asking for Sullivan again.
A couple weeks ago, I was the last one in the office. They were going to be called from my boss. And so I picked the phone and said, "Hello, Mr. President, Henry on Jake's phone. He's up for the day, but I can try to get him on the line for you." And he asked me some questions. And I was like, "I don't know, let me get the track him down. Let's call his Secret Service detail." And it's I'll try his unclassified phone. Then 10 seconds later, same phone. I picked it up again. I was like, "Hi again, it's Henry." He was like, "Is Jake there?" And I was like, "No, you called the same office."
Henry Appel stated that President Biden did not understand basic words in meetings at the White House.
Another time my boss went into briefing, I heard the talking points. I said "Oh, this is a novel phenomenon or something. It's new. It hasn't been done before." My boss said it. I was just novel? What do you mean, a book? I mean, the true meanings of the word novel, he was lost there.
Henry even goes on to say on his dating profile, his greatest strength is, quote, oversharing on the first date. You can't make this shit up. Henry Appel states that we, referring to his team at the National Security Council, were crying the night of Trump's victory, claiming they are all, quote, trauma bonded.
So everybody's probably like basically on the right now, right? What?
No, it's like drawn us closer to each other because like we're all going through it together.
We shared trauma. Yeah. It's the thing. Trauma bond.
We're trauma bonded, yeah.
Right. What was it like when you guys found out?
There were a lot of tears the next morning. Sure. I gotta find a new job.
Then Henry Appel shares to our undercover journalist, White House officials and national security officials are concerned about the incoming Trump administration coming after them for things they may have done wrong.
We're also like concerned about like them coming after us. They'd like investigate us or whatever.
In recent months, many of our fellow Americans experienced unprecedented natural disasters and damaged infrastructure, making access to healthcare essentials impossible at the very moment it was needed. When disaster strikes, being prepared is your best defense. And now I'm excited to share with you the brand.health/OMG. And now you can save 15% just by using Henry Appel, an advisor at the Intelligence Programs Directorate for the National Security Council. Within the NSC, Henry Appel works within the Intelligence Programs Directorate.
He was on a date with?
According to multiple government websites, the division is responsible for overseeing and coordinating intelligence activities across various U.S. intelligence agencies, providing the NSC with crucial intelligence analysis to inform national security decision-making, essentially acting as the primary point of contact between the intelligence community and the National Security Council on intelligence matters. Henry met our OMG American Swiper on a dating app in Washington, D.C., and spoke more in depth about his NSC job and his background, even mentioning he was a spy at one point in his career.
I work, I started my career working like intelligence. So I work in the Intelligence Programs Directorate of the National Security Council. So we give like all of the senior policymakers like all the secrets. It's like diplomacy and international relations, like war, like war in Ukraine. My office is like super involved in it.
Oh, wow, you're so dangerous. Like James Bond over here.
Sure. For a while, I thought I was going to be a spy.
You thought what?
I thought I was going to be a spy.
Oh, yeah.
I did that for a while.
Prior to the undercover meeting, Henry informed our swiper on a text that he had a, quote, lot of tea to spill. Then in the meeting, Henry stated again, here's some tea, and spilled that tea on President Joe Biden's cognitive issues.
Spill the tea.
Joe Biden is like dead. Like he like can't say a sentence.
Really?
He's like really like progressed in his old age. Everybody recognized. I can't believe it wasn't a bigger scandal there.
Henry Appel from the National Security Council revealed a phone call exchange he had with President Joe Biden. On the call, Biden was asking for NSC advisor Jake Sullivan. Henry told Biden that Sullivan had left the office for the day. Biden stated he would call Sullivan's personal phone. Instead, Biden called the same office 10 seconds later asking for Sullivan again. Biden asked, is Jake Sullivan there? To which Henry stated, no, you called the same office, Mr. President.
A couple weeks ago,
you heard this part, right?
I was like the last one in the office. Okay, well, let me know if you have any trouble. They call the Secret Service.
Heard that part.
There's like, is Jake there?
Is Jake there?
Like, he'll be dead in a year.
Hello, is that the doorbell ringing?
Or he'll be like out.
Stated that President Biden did not understand basic words in meetings at the White House. Here's
James. Good stuff, guy. Good stuff, guy. Got to roll on out. But we heard all this. Do you have anything at the end to say that's new? Anything at the end?
The advisor, after all, he is in the national security.
Yeah, right about we got a guest spot right here.
National security advisor, after all, he is in the National Security Council, and he's sharing secrets and spilling tea to a stranger in a restaurant. Henry even goes on to say that on his dating profile, his greatest strength is, quote, oversharing on the first date. You can't make this shit up. Our own
Greatest strengths: oversharing on the first date and low testosterone.
American Swiper asked Henry Appel if they thought Donald Trump would win the 2024 election. Henry also went on to mention that Biden's team felt like they got pushed aside by Kamala Harris during the presidential campaign.
I should think Trump is going to win. Grandpa, possibility.
I thought Kamala ran a terrible campaign.
What did she have?
She just doesn't believe in anything. I know that like Biden and his team did not like that they got pushed aside.
Wait, so his people don't just connect with problem?
In the last meeting with Henry Appel, Henry showed up to the restaurant, but he didn't find his date. He found me outside of the restaurant waiting for him. Here's part of that conversation. Hi.
Henry.
Henry?
Henry.
Henry Appel?
Henry
National
Appel.
Security Council.
Wow.
I
Talk
gotta
to a
ask you a
spy
question.
guy.
What the hell is the guy who's an advisor to the National Security Council doing spilling the quote tea to an undercover journalist? Stay tuned for that full interaction with Henry to see how he responded. And if you're on the inside of the White House or any government institution
Can't wait
and
to see
notice
that.
corruption,
I love it when he confronts them. I love it when he confronts them, man. It's so good. Him and Crowder are so good about doing these things, man. James, release line in the sand to the people. They want to see it. They need to see it. Stop hiding it behind Tucker Carlson's ass. Did we get part 2 yet? Did you get part 2? Did you? Oh, we got part 2. Let's watch it now. I can save it for Saturday night. We got time. Let's do it, because after this, we're just going to be droning out for a minute. Henry douchebag from National Security Douchebag Center. Yeah. Okay. So it goes straight. I think it gets straight into this one. Looks like it. Let's do it. National Security Committee for Douchebags. Henry
Appel? National
Appel?
Security Council. Hi. All right. I'm James O'Keefe, investigative reporter and muckraker. This is you on hidden camera. Cool. You're lucky I'm not a Chinese spy. You are a very lucky man that I'm not a Chinese spy. But I got to ask you a question. What the hell is the guy who's an advisor to the National Security Council doing spilling the quote tea to an undercover journalist?
Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is push on the budget.
What type of national security operation you boys running in the United States government? And you used to be a spy.
For a while, I thought I was going to be a spy.
You thought what?
I thought I was going to be a spy. And I did that for a little while.
What type of spy are you? So where are you going? So we're here in
Henry,
Washington.
come back
with
What's
the
the
spy
tea?
who works for the United
spy
States
who
government,
loved
who's
himself.
quote spilling the tea. Now this is you talking about Biden being quote dead.
Joe Biden is dead. He can't say a sentence.
These are your words. I'm going to play them for you.
Final last words. Right here.
He's like dead.
He's like dead.
You also tell an anecdote where you're on the phone with the president. He didn't
calls
even
you
know
like your old
that
grandpa.
the guy that he was asking for was right next to him.
You didn't know where
My boss was on an international trip with him, like Europe or something. The phone rang in the office, and I picked it up. And I was like, "Oh, this president, Henry." He was like, "You stay there." He's like, "No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip you are."
And you work for the National Security Council as an advisor, and you're saying all these things to a rando.
Sure
what
did.
if that random person was a Chinese spy?
Yeah, what about that? I thought
Is
you
that
were
what they
super
teach
spy.
you in intel school?
Huh? Yeah. This is the
What do you-
guys.
what do you-
This is the guy like right here J. Michael Waller has been warning us about. This is the guy that soy beta spy material coming out of the woke universities.
Feel like you're about to be famous.
He's not ever.
And by the way,
sharing
what
on
was
this
it like
day.
to cry those tears when Trump won? You said you're concerned about being retaliated against.
There were a lot of tears the next morning. Sure.
I bet you ran inside and called his lawyer.
So, like, I'm very concerned about, like, them coming after us.
What was it like to cry? There he goes. The spy who shagged me. No, the spy that works for the Biden administration. Running away, not saying a word. He's very concerned. People who are intelligence people don't want to be famous. So we just confronted the spy who works as an advisor to the National Security Council for Biden. He ran away into this place here. We asked him about the tears he was feeling and the trauma that he was feeling as a deep state official after Trump's victory. Perhaps he should be concerned because he works for the National Security Council and he's giving away all the secrets to a stranger here on the streets of Washington, D.C. Hello, ma'am. Yes. And then she runs away. People like to stare at us when we do this. We are behind enemy lines in the nation's capital, and the trauma that they feel, maybe they should come after these people for spilling secrets and being horrible at their jobs as spies. It's not the worst espionage ever.
I know.
If you're going to be telling people about what's happening inside the White House. Reporting from Washington, D.C., this is James O'Keefe with OMG.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff, James. Good stuff, dude. That was hilarious. Old Henry. Old Henry. What a tool bag that guy is, huh?
Henry
Tool bag.
Appel?
Henry the old tool bag. I love it when these guys get busted out on dates. I gotta add to my collection. Right there. Yes. All right. That was a beautiful, beautiful work, Mr. James O'Keefe. All right. We got a couple decades of minutes left here. And it wouldn't be a episode in December if we weren't talking about drones. So yeah,
reviewing these videos, which could have contained important information.
We're not going to talk about drones, so probably won't, but we have to now because the FAA today banned drone flights over parts of New Jersey and warned that unauthorized drones flying in sensitive areas will be shot down. So let's hear what the normies are hearing. Normies. Not the normies. We're the normies. We're really the normies, but let's hear what the mind-controlled CNN viewers are hearing.
Of the answers, right, Pete?
Yeah, not the first time that drone restrictions have been put in place since this drone frenzy began, but this is by far the most sweeping set of restrictions we have seen. The Federal Aviation Administration just made this announcement. Drones now effectively banned over certain critical infrastructure in New Jersey. The epicenter.
This could be Ozzy Overlord's cousin, American cousin, maybe.
Of this drone panic. Temporary flight restrictions are now in place over 22 different spots. They stretch from as far south as.
First of all, I'll just go ahead and save her the trouble of saying it. She's been to all these places. But I don't see Hoboken on here, so that's good news.
The Hope Creek and adjacent Salem nuclear plants on the Delaware River to as far north as the New York City suburb as Cedar Grove. Each drone ban is centered on a power station operated by utility provider PSEG. Target here, clearly recreational drones, commercial drones, police, disaster relief, all still allowed. Also, this does not prohibit traditional airplanes or helicopters. I want you to read here, though, the text of the notice to drone operators. It essentially says, mess around and find out. The United States government...
No, it's fuck around and find out, but go ahead.
...may use deadly force against airborne aircraft if it is determined that the aircraft poses an imminent security threat. The keyword...
Okay, so that's telling, isn't it? If it's an imminent threat, then we should be able to see drones being blasted out of the sky.
deadly force. What is not clear is why these specific spots. Remember, the purported drone sightings that initially kicked all of this off were initially associated with military bases, and one of the first drone restrictions to be put in place was over Picatinny Arsenal. It's where the United States Army conducts a lot of weapons testing. So still a bit of a mystery here, and the FAA says it put these restrictions in place at the request of the Department of Homeland Security. It says it is doing this out of an abundance of caution, but still no specific imminent security threat.
Mess around, find out. That is the. That's
I wanted to use the more colorful language.
Yeah, that's
daytime television.
That's
I'm
sure you did. Family crest. That's right. Speaking of mess around, find out, Pete. You
what else you got
talked yesterday as you were doing a report about these drones in New Jersey that there had been an uptick of people pointing lasers at planes, seemingly trying to point lasers at these drones.
That sounds like something that would happen in Jersey. Hey, you guys, we're gonna point lasers at the planes. Come on.
Try to figure out they are. Obviously, a very dangerous situation for airplanes, and the FAA is now.
Do they think the lasers are going to hurt the drones? I mean, I don't get it.
Putting out a warning.
It's super dangerous. You know, you can buy these laser pointers online. I have one in my desk drawer, $29 from Amazon. That's the image there from a passenger on an American.
Ban laser pointers now. Thanks, New Jersey.
An airlines flight that was going from Raleigh-Durham to LaGuardia. He said he saw this blue laser illuminate the plane over New Jersey. This was last Friday. Now the FAA says there's been a huge uptick in these laser strikes. Typically, the FAA gets about 30 pilot reports nationwide every night. Every night. Just this past
Every
Tuesday,
night. They're going to ban lasers, guys. Go get your lasers. Go get your lasers now. Seriously. Right. Shiba Inu. What's up? Look around and find out. That's right.
They got 123 nationwide, 24 of them over New Jersey. So essentially, average day in the U.S. localized entirely over one state. And the big risk here is that this can temporarily blind pilots. And this is typically during some of the most critical phases of a flight, when you're down low about to land or taking off and still climbing. So it's a really, really dangerous thing. An $11,000 fine from the FAA, and it is a felony.
That is an expensive fine.
Good warning.
And
though.
get a felony
It's out
in
there.
Mess around, find out.
All right, Pete Montine, thank you so much.
Well, new this morning, the
Okay, so what?
FAA has placed multiple drone flight restrictions over certain parts of New Jersey. The restrictions are largely aimed at limiting drone flights over power stations and infrastructure. And this announcement comes as officials have repeatedly said there is no threat with the increased alleged drone sightings in the Northeast. My next guest, Will Austin, is an expert in drone technology. He's president of Warren County Community College in New Jersey and founder of its drone program. Well, thanks for coming on.
Warren County Community College. You ever been there, Shell?
First of all, what do you make of these drone flight restrictions? Do you think that they're necessary?
Well, I think at this point, with the way the public is seeing drones, that it's probably necessary to put up the temporary flight restrictions over areas. The nice thing about that is when we talk about the drones that I've personally witnessed over the last month, they're small recreational drones, small commercial drones, and they have a technology in it called geofencing. So they can stop the drone literally midair from entering into one of these areas. And if you're already in the area.
That's actually an S. I know you guys were saying, yeah, here you go. Shiba and Inu. INU. It's a cryptocurrency. It's a cryptocurrency. I don't know if I still have some. I had some of that cryptocurrency at some point.
The propellers on many drones will not spin at all, so you cannot take off.
Well, someone listening to this right now might say, well, why hasn't that been done before to prevent some of these incidents that are happening, like near Boston Airport and military bases?
Yeah, so not every drone has that technology in it. We have to remember that drones have been around since before 2016, before there were even rules. I was flying drones before Part 107 came out. And the other thing that people sometimes forget is that these are aircraft. We're calling them drones, and a lot of times you got them off Amazon, or maybe you got it out of Best Buy or Walmart or some other kind of store like the hobbyist store. So they're often mistaken for toys. They really are not. They are aircraft that have to follow all the restrictions of the Federal Aviation Administration. And we've had drones in the sky for many years now with very, very few incidents. So most of the
All right, so that one looks way different from a lot of the ones we've seen because the light was all fixated in the middle. And I'm guessing that was the one they were on the ground with here. I don't know. Is this guy right here is flying it? I don't know if he's flying it or not. Just give me. Can you fly two drones together at the same time and get some up close pictures or something? I mean, do you need my help? I can fly up there and help you guys in Jersey if you need help. I got some time coming up. If you really need help figuring out how to put two drones in there at the same time and have one of them take a picture of the other, I'd be happy to help.
The drone professionals or drone flyers out there are very, very conscientious of the rules. And we maintain to this day the safest airspace on the planet. The FAA does a fantastic job of doing this. So we want to remember that it's been a month now since I first heard about the drones. No one has seen a large drone as described, or at least not been able to provide evidence, I should say, for that. And the small drones have had very little incidences. But with the media attention, we got a lot of people, I think, flying at night for the first time. And flying at night is much more difficult than flying during the day.
And the FAA is saying that pilots are now reporting a dramatic increase in laser pointer hits from the ground since these mysterious drone sightings and since all this attention has been paid to it. How concerning is this?
Well, to me, it's very concerning. And because
stop shining late. You're going to get the lasers banned. We can use lasers for other things. We need the lasers for the fake alien invasion. That's when you need the lasers. This isn't it. Put the lasers back. I know I told you to get the green lasers for the fake alien invasion 10 years ago. So that if they're going to put holograms out of giant messiahs in your area, all you need is a green laser, because green lasers will cut through a hologram. It's for the holograms. It's not for the drones. All right. Get back to it. If anybody's new here, I'm joking.
One of those laser pointers was to hit a pilot.
I did actually say that. There you go. See, these green lasers, the reason why green lasers work on holograms is because green washes out every color. All right. That's why you want the green laser. Plus, also, it's the brand. It's the brand. And when you have a green laser, people know that you're trying to win reality, and that's what you want to be doing. Scorpio sexiness. What's up, man? I can deal with that. The FAA enters the picture a month after the fact. Typical government agency timeline. Yep, I get you. I get you there, man. And Scorpio clubs unite.
Especially on takeoff and landing, when it is the most hazardous for aircraft, it could affect their ability. They could be disoriented, and it could affect their ability to land that plane or take that plane off safely. So you don't want to point laser pointers at anything in the sky, especially this time.
Oh, look at this guy! Look at this guy! He threw a rock at it. He threw a rock at it.
Think about all the people.
Oh, now he's got a laser.
Going for the Christmas holiday. We're about to end our semester here, as are many other colleges. A lot of kids are going to be flying home. You don't want to be doing this because the drones that are in the sky right now.
Get out of here, man. I've been drinking. I'll show you who's boss.
There has been no evidence that they pose any kind of threat. And it wouldn't matter if they did. Your laser pointer is not going to have any impact on that drone. The only thing you can do with that laser pointer is affect manned aircraft in a negative way.
Oh yeah, get $11,000 fine and go get a felony on your record. That's a good time. That's a great way to end the semester, don't you think? Oh man, don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay, so that gives us everything here in a nutshell. I mean everybody, not the shell, but so I might as well show this right now. This is from Philadelphia, and this came out. This is fun because this blends a couple of different shows together. This blends together cool things, which have been covered on Winning Saturday Night. It's one of the segments we do. Winning Saturday Nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. We do good news of the week, cool things, which is just technology stuff, cool places, cool ideas, cool things that you just never. I find it on the internet. And we watch it. Cool things, man. That's what it is. Yeah, the intro is kind of like goes something like this.
Filters change the way we feel. Blurry lines between what's real. Cool things, a thrill we chase. Time's a blur.
There we go. See, come back Saturday night for the rest of that. But I want to show you this story because
I had like 11 different airplanes.
Covered this before on Cool Things. This exact technology. And looky here, it's rolling out. That's the one reason why we cover the cool things too, is because cool things are coming, and they're out there already. But the technology cool things that we cover, one of them is flying cars. Their flying cars are very interesting, right? We all want to live with the Jetsons, right? Well, check these guys out. They're the first Jetsons.
I've had like 11 different airplanes.
John and his daughter Heather have a couple planes in their hangar in Sussex County, Delaware, but their coolest plane.
You good here?
It isn't a plane.
This is in Delaware. Now, this story came out 2 days ago.
Or technically even a drone.
Looking good. Clear for departure.
This is a flying car.
It's a flying car. Takeoff and landing is a little steep, but John is 86 years old and just loves flying this thing around the country.
Okay, so see how he's flying that like right next to the highway? I saw a picture come out the other day of this in the daytime. Did you guys see that picture that came out? People are like, drones are everywhere. Drones are everywhere. Like, and I was like, that's one of those flying cars. And I've been talking about like the UAP sightings. That's like they're testing flying cars. Like flying cars are coming. They're on the way. Flying taxis, probably start with that, right? And they're coming. But anyways, it was like taken on this exact field, I believe, the picture that someone said it was a drone, a car-sized drone invading, America.
When I was a kid, I always dreamed laying in bed of flying in a magic carpet. I fly around in this thing. It's like I'm
high
in a
as a
magic
kite,
carpet.
by the way.
John and Heather are among the first 5 Americans to own a black fly vehicle. They are licensed pilots, but they say they actually only need a driver's license to fly this.
So we feel like this.
You only need a driver's license to have this. The black fly vehicle, and this woman and this man are in Delaware flying it around.
This manifest destiny. Like, we are the first people in America to actually have a flying car.
See, ladies and gentlemen, we're witnessing history. These are the first people in America to have a flying car. John's fulfilling a childhood dream with his lovely wife out in Delaware.
This model runs about 200 grand and can fly about 20 miles. It recharges.
John made a lot of money. John got 200 grand to blow in a flying car. Now that's some shit. I wonder if they financed it.
Only 45
I mean,
minutes.
look at all that property they got. He's owning planes. This guy made some money.
There will be lots of piloted and pilotless vehicles like this soon in the American skies.
So this vehicle could go up to 4,000 feet, but they generally don't fly that high. They go up to like 250 feet because you got to remember, you have to power it coming back down. You do not want to get stuck at 4,000 feet and not have enough juice to get back to Earth. It does have a parachute system. They hope they will never, ever need to use it.
Yeah.
Well, damn right. I don't want anybody shooting at me.
It's probably expensive to get that shit repacked, too.
Yeah, John doesn't want any folks thinking he's one of the mystery drones that have been seen. He never flies this thing at night. He does love the attention it has brought, though, to the potential of electric vehicles like his Black Fly. Heather takes the whole mystery drone threat a little more seriously.
I mean, you got to at least fly to the store once, right? You got to fly to the store so you can get out of it and be like a badass, right? Yeah, I just flew. I'd fly it down to the bar. Can you fly down to the local bar, get a drink down to the VFW? And it's down to the Elks Lodge. Can you just, John, you got to fly it somewhere besides around the house, dude. Otherwise, it's just a prop. You got to make some practical use out of this. At least fly it like, over to the kid's house or something.
Concerns me is when the
Here
politicians
comes Grandpa
get on
in the flying car.
television and they say, "Oh, we're going to shoot all these things down," and people think it's okay to shoot down, some vehicle that they see in the sky. You don't know if there's a person in there.
John cares.
And I'm ready to go.
But if you see this vehicle over southern Delaware, it's probably just John or Heather.
You don't need a license.
Proud pioneers of the flying car.
You guys have seen this picture, right? It's almost the same looking picture. And people are like, these drones are invading. Drones are invading.
Revolution.
We are on the cutting edge of the new technology of how people are going to be flying.
In Sussex County, Delaware, Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
People out there. It's John. There you go. Drone mystery solved. Here he is. It's John. It's just John. Just John. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd like to know John. I'd like to be related to John, inherit his flying car. Okay, so as I promised, we're going to check in on right here in the last few minutes of the show. We're going to check in and see what is going on live right now. We're going live to New York City. I'm not lying. We're going live to New York City right now. And a special cam that is set up to make sure that we keep an eye on what's going on. So let me just hit the live here. And there we go. You guys hear it? Air traffic control in the background. And a beautiful picture of the New York skyline. Shelly knows where all these places are. Oh, electricity they're using up. So this flips around to a few different views here.
Qatar 2-1 Mike Heavy, continue right
Hey,
on Bravo.
guys are looking pretty clear at the moment. 10:58, still past road 30. But keeping an eye out. Wait, I did forget one thing. Stay tuned. I got one more thing for you.
Bravo and continue right on Bravo.
I didn't have it on the playlist though. I'm very disappointed in myself.
Speedbird 183 Heavy, turn right Yankee, left Yankee Alpha, hold short of runway 4 left.
On Kilo, monitor 1191.
Roger, Yankee Alpha, hold short, 04 left, Speedbird 183 Heavy. 183 Heavy actually mid instructions, hold short of 4 left at Foxtrot.
American
Foxtrot, Tango. Foxtrot, Tango, over.
Kilo.
I didn't watch it.
1191.
Emirates 5 Romeo Quebec Super wind 050 at 7 runway 4
We
left.
took it down already. Nope.
Airport
Okay.
210, Kennedy Tower,
Gotta
caution
be in the
turbulence,
history.
runway 4 left, line at the wait.
4 left, line at the
I know where to find it otherwise. Hold on. Let's watch this for a second. You guys tell me if you see any drones. I gotta. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Bravo, Qatar's waiting for you. Monitor
All right,
ground
guys.
121.9.
So I've had a friend on the show. He's a creator. I'm in his Discord. He's been on. We did an interview,
Mike Heavy, monitor ground 121.9.
and he was looking at the exact same skyline right here, driving over from New York City from Jersey. I believe he's got the same view going on right here. Right, you can see the lights going on and off. So this is a live picture right now. Ain't much happening. Right. Air traffic control is still doesn't. You go back a little earlier, you can see for some reason it was darker, but you can see that lights are coming out of here. Where's LaGuardia? That's the East River, George Washington Bridge. Where's LaGuardia from here? It's going. See, these are airplanes on descent. Here, you can go across the sky. So what's what? I think there's helicopters also that are around here as well. So we're keeping an eye out to see what's going on here with listening to air traffic control. See if there's any alerts, right? But sometime during the night here, during the day or whatever. I don't know why it's lighter over here. Did the sun come up or something? Oh, what's that? Oh. I don't know if it reset or what. What time did it say here? 8:55 p.m. Oh, this somebody's looping some shit on us. Anyways, yeah, so that's the skyline. Look, there's a plane. This is the black and white view here from around 5:55. So there you go. It's this LaGuardia is over here, right? And they're flying out this way. Because it's a bay view, more ocean than skyline. Okay. All right. So you got that. But our very own friend, and I should have, let me see if I can find his intro so that we understand who we're dealing with here. Oh, wait, let me turn this off. It's still buzzing in my ear. Stop. All right. Let me see if I find his intro real quick. I should be able to find it really quick. There we go. So he gets an intro even though he's not here because I have one made. And I want to intro his new video, his own shot. I took my own shocking New Jersey UFO UAP drone footage. It was breathtaking. It was breathtaking, he says. So friend of the show, been on here before, did a long interview with him. Really cool guy. I dig him. He's a cool dude. He's gonna be talking his talk here. So we're going to show you here. I'm going to show you this in a second. But let me go ahead and get his intro lined up. Don't go anywhere because you don't want to miss. This is one of my better intros. I really like this intro. You know, I started doing intros for friends and fellow creators first. That was my thing way back in the day. And I liked using the refacing technology and finding things that fit with them. Really, that was really personal. I gave them the real personal touch. That was my thing. Let's see. And I still could do it. I still might. I still could do it again. I took the year off from doing interviews. I did so many of these intros over, for the previous year and a half. From the time the refacing and all that stuff came out. Well, come on now. Come on now. It's okay. If you can finish. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If this intro doesn't load soon enough, I may have to scrap it for time. Hold on. Seriously? It's almost there. It's just going really slow for some reason. How's the crowd doing? Right? How do you rough? Dang it. Speak. I feel alone. The juice box will save the world. Yeah. Yep. It will. It's supposed to, at least. That's what it says on the box. All right. Here we go. We got it right here. Hopefully, I don't remember if this one was a freebie or not. Oh, look. I can get rid of Afix's lame videos from last night since you never even stuck around to watch them. Afix from Afix Incorporated, also known as producer Mike. Come on. Didn't take that long to process the video. Let's go. Oh, here we go.
Afternoon.
Promise to protect you.
You better ask somebody, you're gonna lose your mind.
That's right. Our very own strategic eyes took this video. Let's take a look. I'm sure I'm going to copyright hit for that. That sucks. So make sure you get all your chats in now.
What's going on, y'all? Strategic eyes here. Driving. Got these drones up there. It's just a whole bunch of them. They all got the same color scheme, the same lights flashing.
All right, Wolfram. Figure out what this is.
And it's like, what are they doing? What the fuck? They just flying in circles. What the fuck is that? This is insanity. That motherfucker's low. Oh shit. Look at him. Oh my God. That's insane.
Judge, what's up?
Oh my. You guys can't really tell because of the way that the camera is. But guys, this thing is super close to the ground.
Yeah, this is a police officer, by the way, showing you what not to do when you're driving. It's like a public service announcement, right?
It's like 4 of them up there.
Look how fast you going?
Unfortunately, I can't manipulate the camera like that because I'm driving. I'm doing something extremely dangerous right now because I'm shocked. I'm literally shocked.
Is he going 92 miles an hour?
They all have the same color and light scheme. I mean, I need to get some gas, so hopefully I'll be able to slow down and I can zoom it in. But you know, due to the way the camera lens is, I see it closer than what you could see with these with this camera.
Though. He did not use his
blinker. I need gas, so let me slow down. Maybe
that guy did get down the road fast. He's only going 55 miles an hour, though.
It might come back around, and it's super fast. They're super fast. I don't even know you guys could tell how fast that was. I don't know what's going on here, guys.
Watch what's about to happen.
This is super unnerving. Super unnerving, guys. Super unnerving. I need my 10-4 hat. I'm not going to lie to you. This is crazy. And it's multiple of them. It's multiple of them. I'm going to New York City for an office dinner, office party for the holidays. And so I'm going through Jersey to get through the George Washington Bridge, guys, and these drones are up there. They're up there. They look terrestrial. They don't look alien, but they're up there. What's up, buddy? Regular, fill it up for me, please.
Where's he at? People in the comments are like, wow, you don't have to fill up your own gas.
I don't know what to tell you guys. This is really weird. They all have the same color scheme, the same light scheme, and they're just flying around in circles. And it's multiple of them, and they're close together. You know they're not planes and stuff because planes can't fly that close legally unless they're like Air Force planes or something like that, because you could cause a crash. And the maneuverability is so awesome on these flying crafts, and the speed, like really it just took off, like bam, I'm gone. It was insane.
It's these things right here. Like I just showed you like what it looked like from the airport, right? So basically, he's driving, and I guess the water is over there. What the city's over there. See? So you could see that that's kind of the view we were having. I guess I don't know.
The same lights.
I think this is a helicopter. Honestly, I think these are incoming planes landing or taking off or something. Or maybe even a light tower.
It's like, what are they doing?
That might even be a
what the fuck? They just flying in circles.
Now the red thing that was just showing, that's his phone. This thing up here, that's his phone.
What the fuck? They just flying in circles.
That's his phone.
What the fuck is that? This is insanity. That motherfucker's low.
55. Now he started going 52 here in a second. So he started slowing down, and that guy started picking up.
Oh my god, that's insane.
I think it's a helicopter.
Oh my! You guys can't really tell because of the way that the camera is. But guys, this thing is super close to the ground.
Or that came back because it's his phone. See, he's going 52 miles an hour.
It's like 4 of them up there.
Now he's going 62.
4 of them. Unfortunately, I can't manipulate the camera like that because I'm driving. I'm doing something extremely dangerous right now because I'm shocked.
Yep, it sure is. All right, so yeah, there you go. Strategic Eyes are our good friend. He's over there in Ground Zero of Drone Apocalypse 2024. eyewitness report, and yeah, a major medevac route constantly busy. It's a major medevac route. That makes sense. Okay. See, he doesn't know all that stuff. He just knows what he knows. He does what he does. Now that people have it sensationalized in their mind, looking for it, right? Like, oh my God, that's what everybody's talking about. Holy shit, I'm seeing it. Holy shit, it may be part of the mayhem, right? And they start getting their phones out. They're like, yeah, that's what everybody, because they saw someone else do the same thing, who someone else recorded on their phone something that wasn't what they said it was, right? Or wasn't what they thought it was. And then somebody else does it, and then somebody else does it. It's carbon copy, right? It becomes a carbon copy. Then somebody else sees a bunch of carbon copies out there and be like, okay, my archetype has been set now in my mind. I know what to look for. I know that these drones look like exactly like planes, and they fly exactly like planes, and they're where I've always seen planes at before, but now they're drones, right? So then he's gonna, oh my God, and then a helicopter goes rushing by, and that, man, look how fast it's going, but look how slow you're going. You should have stepped on the gas. You could have kept up with it, right? Carbon copy groupthink. There you go. We've coined a phrase tonight. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I remember gas jockey kids as a kid, but St. Louis had self-service gas by the time I started driving in the 80s. Yep, that he was in Jersey, so he's still underneath the umbrella of self-serve gas. It must happen. But he's got 2,000 views. Maybe I'll go drive around and pretend like I saw a drone too. Get some algorithm going. I can't do that because I'd rather know the truth than get views. That's the way I go. So anyways, well, on that note, my friend, New Yorkers don't realize how many aircraft fly over the city because the buildings obscure the view of the city, of the sky, by a lot. They can't see crap, so watching from outside can be shocking. Yeah, they rarely leave because the bridge tolls are like $10. Like, screw that. They make you pay to leave New York City. They make you pay to go in, make you pay to leave. Anyways, 357, what's up, man? How you doing? You're just in time to catch the end of the show because I'm about to get out of here. We got to make sure Wolfram gets his beauty sleep. And we've been going for about 3 hours and 11 minutes, which is a perfect time to jump on off. But I'll be back Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for Left the Plains Landing. I'll be back in time. And Lucifer, too. Hey, what's up, man? All kinds of people showing up here. I'm glad you guys are sliding in sideways here on hour 3. I'm ready to close the show down, but you can at least enjoy the outro because the outro is a lot of fun. Everybody enjoys the outro. Everybody loves it. But I'd like to say thank you guys for coming by. Come see me Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for Winning Saturday Night. We'll do the good news of the week, cool things, and funny videos as always. And maybe we'll have some new music for you, something like that, something fun to do with music. The original House of Music, the House of Jams, man. Winsu, the house band, my house band. We'll be playing my old songs in new ways every week. At least once, maybe not. Sometimes, mostly. We'll see. Anyways, I got to get on out, guys. I will see you then on Saturday night. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the solution. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for all the things you do. Be well, be safe out there. Have a great night. Have a good night's sleep. Have a great tomorrow. And until next time, stay based and keep on winning.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.